This morning I get the pleasure for welcome at the studios Dr. Sylvia Olanka Blyden, we're an intending aspirant for the APC 2028 presidential candidate election. We can get a conversation on service, leadership, politics, and governance. Good morning, Doc, and welcome. I introduce you well? Or you want to do the introduction back? Sometimes the private person introduce himself.
Okay, you cast my mind back, and I can say the listeners don't mind go back to introduction. Actually introduced me very well. I'm very much happy with the introduction, and I also want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
As a young man, for build this type of empire where they see so, because my family them today the first Sakanaya, and honestly, what they see so with me is amazing. This young man, we need for give kudos.
Thank you.
I'm amazed at what this man don't build now. If I see the structures, if I see the studio, if I see where this place fine, I'm very impressed. May God bless you. I'm highly honored to be here with you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming and accepting we invitation, for joining we na the devotion. You got to ring the bell before you left we.
But get a confession. I don't want to watch your program.
Okay.
I've never watched your program. I know say you can ring the bell. I don't want to watch your program from beginning to ending. So I don't know how it goes. But I feel very comfortable. I feel very safe in your hands. And let's go.
Yes, we'll have a very good conversation. Once more, welcome and thanks for being with you. We can talk about service. Let me talk about your service to this nation. I want to start from that point today, because I see when you hear the rollout, you put out a lot of information about how former late President Kaba identify you as a young person, we help in government for able day online. I read that right up there, and the work you don't do, you come, you build an internet cafe. Also, a lot of young people been they go surf the net and get connected. What has been your service to this nation for the people we don't know you much, the young generation, the Gen Zs, we don't hear this name? What don't be your service to this nation, and how have you enjoyed it as well?
Oh yes, it's been a roller coaster. I consider myself highly blessed that God don't give me this opportunity for make me mark now the world. Not to all man they able get that blessing there from God. I see it like now a blessing from God for make a deal so today. I have enjoyed every step of the way. Some of it has been painful, some of it has been negative, but the vast majority has been very uplifting. I tell God thank you for Usade. Now, my service to the nation, I believe, it starts from a very young age, which is why you get people that they assume, say, I am much older than I am. I remember somebody, they argue with me, Mama in London, my mama was born me in London. They tell me, Mama say, this was like 5-6 years ago. They tell me, Mama say, me don't pass 60. He said there's no way that woman that year I'm not even 58. So my mommy they try for tell and say no, someone there in 40s. He said no way. For me smaller they this woman voice. This woman must be in his 60s. So I started at a very young age. And how did I start? I think God guided me to during the war years. I was a student at college, and we had a lecturer. She was a woman called she was a pediatrician, a medical doctor, and she inspired me for us to rise up and demand for peace. It was during the war years. She was called Dr. Famata Boy Kamara, and at that time I was a student activist within university circles, but not on a national level. But she was able to speak to me as a student leader that I was. And we came out and I remember we marched through the streets of Freetown. We led thousands of women. I and her held the banners to lead the march of thousands of women across the streets of Freetown, demanding for peace. This was in 1994, 1995. And it shot me into the limelight, of course. I also became the first woman who contested against men beat men and became the first woman for be a student union president at the university. This is now like 32 years ago, which was unheard of that time for make woman get mind so. So I was then 22 years of age. So at that age, I already had made my mark. And then during the war years, when I left go America, the way the war was being, the way the crisis in Sierra Leone was being handled, I was very, very articulate on the internet. Because as a student leader, I had been privy to a lot of things that were ordinary people that not go sabi. You know, so in a student leader, politicians, and they meet you and they talk to you because they want you to be, you know, I was very influential. So I saw the way President Kaba was leading the nation during the war years. It was a disaster. They were fighting a fight that would never end. So I was very articulate on the internet. We had a group called Leonet. We had another group called Africa Online. And I was articulate against Tijan Kaba and the SAPP-led government, how they were prosecuting the war. So that again shot, because I can be very courageous when I put my views across. So that again shot me into global limelight in the Sierra Leone space. We continue, we eventually get what we want, which was a peaceful settlement of the crisis in Sierra Leone. Now,
you play any role in that peaceful settlement?
Yes, tremendous role. I mean, that one I was blessed. God used me at a very pivotal point in time. I mean, if I want to explain, I will spend all the time now. I know don't explain I want in at SABC. But bottom line, I was able to work with Nigerians. I got in touch with a man who would eventually become the president of Nigeria, and I was able to convince him to put Sierra Leone as a priority. And to cut a long story short, there was a pivotal point I played to get peace in Sierra Leone. And I'm very proud of myself that God used me for convince Nigeria at a certain point in time, connect Nigerian president in Sissebuka, and get direct line to the president of Nigeria at that time, and get them to be able to get both Tijan Kaba and the rebels to the table for dialogue and for peace eventually in Sierra Leone. So I'm very proud of myself in the role I played in that aspect.
You go to medical school.
I'm a medical doctor. I'm a
medical
fully
professional.
Trained, I'm a fully trained and qualified
Why
medical
you not
doctor.
practice?
I did, but as I said to you, my life trajectory, when you look my life trajectory, they know say this is not God, na input and per me. Say this is how I want you to go. My life trajectory has been one where God has guided me repeatedly onto the path of serving Sierra Leone. Regardless of what you would want to do, it's like God wants me, and they God they always put me. So to cut a long story short, it's a pretty long story. I'm in America doing my what you could call internship, and God guides me that I want you to become a businesswoman doing computer and internet consultancies. Not because of the money, because that 10 day it was a lot of money. You make a lot of money. Not now. To understand the computer at the turn of the century, they pay you tens of thousands of dollars. So God wanted me. There was a pivotal moment. I realized that put the medicine to one side for now, because I'm not only licensed in Sierra Leone as a medical doctor, I'm also licensed in America. United States medical licensing exams. I passed all my exams. So I put it to one side and I started doing business. I started doing activism because that's where God wanted me. And
you became a publisher, started newspaper and journalism as well.
Exactly. That again started like I wasn't happy with the way the media was. During the war years, as I said to you, I'm articulate. I'm very articulate. And so I was on these social media, we don't call them social media, I tend to call them Leonet, we call them Africa Online. And they had these terrible men who have these egos, will not believe the woman forbids them intellectually. So what they end up, what they used to do was to attack me, you know, with all sorts of cooked up stories because of my views, because of my viewpoints, you know. There's one of them days I mean, get for going on Facebook and challenge and say, if you continue along this line, I'm going to handle you. And he just went into his shell. But when you debate them and you beat them intellectually at arguments, they get very, very nasty. So I realized the media, they started using the media. They had some of these journalists, terrible people. You worked for one of them before. And they started using the media to write terrible things about me in the media. And I realized that the media space was not sanitized. It was very unpleasant. And I decided I'm going to step into the media and I'm going to challenge them. And that's that. In summary, that is what happened. I went into the media Within few months, the first thing was the Gloria Newman Smart. There was a woman called Gloria Newman Smart. I don't know if you ever heard that name.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
There was this crisis with this woman. In fact, that's one of the things that moved Tijan Kaba to start paying attention to me. Tijan Kaba had been misled about this woman. There was a manipulation. It was electioneering period. All the political parties are fighting for who becomes their flag bearer. And this woman had supported Charles Magai against Solomon Berewa, who was then the favored SAPP candidate. She was the head of immigration. So the forces at play, you know, when power is fighting, they went after that woman in a very terrible manner. Eventually, she lost her life. But I was fortunate to meet her before she lost her life. And she spoke to me from her hospital bed about what she went through at the hands of the authorities. And then she died. Oh, so I went out there fighting for that woman, fighting for justice, fighting for an inquest. And that boomed my media presence. It's just like you, Truth Media. There's a strategic thing you will do that booms your media presence. Yours was fighting for drugs, this issue of drugs. When you did that fight for that drugs, it just opened up. And that's what happened with me. So then Awareness Times became now a formidable force. And it was now the paper to be. And the paper was outselling all these other newspapers that we met. So my contribution again to the media, of course, I empowered a lot of young people. I brought a lot of young people into the media, empowered them, trained them, got them to be formidable journalists. So that's it in terms of the media.
So during the period, the day, you know, like you say, you not be one person with the old leadership accountable, political leadership.
Big time.
Former President Kaba, it came to former President Hannes Baikoma. You were still doing it. Vice President Solomon Berewa as well. And how did things change that you joined politics and became a member of Hannes Baikoma in government?
Things didn't change. I was always a politician. That's what a lot of people don't know. I was a politician. I was born into a political family. 7 generations of politicians. 7. I grew up learning politics. I grew up watching my grandfather, one of the most successful Creole politicians. In fact, they used to call him the doyen of Creole politics. I watched my grandfather in politics. I watched my father in politics. And my mother, she wasn't in active politics, but as a student, she had been in active politics, and she told me a lot of things about politics. So I grew up as a politician, and that is how I got involved. I got identified in my student days by my colleagues that this is a leader. And so they made me the first woman to be a female president of a student union government at the University of Sierra Leone. So I was always in politics. I've always been a politician. But remember, in 2001, a political party emerged in Sierra Leone called the Young People's Party. And at that time, I was 29 years of age. I was living in America. The Young People's Party reached out to me that we have looked at all these people who, because the Young People's Party was like the thing of the moment. The war was almost getting to an end. The youths of Sierra Leone were now saying, we can do this, but there was no leadership. So a lot of people wanted to be leader of the Young People's Party. A lot of them. And they were lobbying for these young people to make them leader of the Young People's Party. I didn't even know about these people. And they reached out to me in America. And they say, Dr. Blyden, we have decided you are the one to come and lead the Young People's Party. Oh? Who are you? I don't know these people. And they kept on now lobbying different people who knew me to talk to me. Eventually, one of my brothers, one of my adopted brothers who grew up at the house with me, Junior Lawrence Santigisi, convinced me that these are credible people. Talk to them. So I engaged them, and I realized that they have a vision, but they had no money. Because the people who wanted to lead the Young People's Party was like a quid pro quo. They wanted for them to be leader, and then they would finance the party. So now these people had come to me, and truth be told, at that time I was making a lot of money as an internet consultant. This was the time I would be brave enough to charge a client $10,000 for 1 hour. Yes. So I then decided that I would finance them. So I solely financed the Young People's Party, started sending money for them, renting
What's that your interest?
Just to empower young people. What really moved me, and I can tell you this, during the crisis period, I wanted to understand what caused human beings to go to the bush, take up cutlasses, start ambushing vehicles on the road, and cutting off hands of their fellow human beings, chopping the stomachs of pregnant women, taking out their babies. Because this all happened during the war years. And I needed to understand man's inhumanity to man. What caused this to happen? So I went on a spree of interviewing so many of the actors. And as I sit here today, I don't think there's any other Sierra Leonean who has spoken to all the actors, whether it is Fode Sanko, whether it is Maskita Bokari, whether it is Superman Mingo, whether it is Bokari, whether it is SYB Rogers, who was actually the war chairman of the RUF. I've spoken to each and every one of these people, including a lady called Mariama. Mariama is the missing link that a lot of people miss in the RUF war. She was the first wife of Fode Sanko who invaded Sierra Leone. She fell out with Fode Sanko and she had to run for her life to Ivory Coast. I was fortunate enough to meet her, talk to her, and engage her because I wanted to understand what causes this war.
And then they bring you come closer to the RUF where people they think
not closer to the RUF. I wasn't close to the RUF in that sense, but I made sure that, as I said to you prior to this one, at the turn of the century, when you're an internet consultant, money is not a problem. You make money, you charge people a lot of money to do things. So to cut a long story short, I interviewed also, there was something called the Small Boys Unit. They call them the SBU. In fact, one of them is still working for me. I employed him. He's been working for me for over 20 years now as one of my assistants. Now, I interviewed these people called the Small Boys Unit. And I realized the lost generation of Sierra Leoneans, a whole lost generation of Sierra Leoneans who had been kidnapped from their villages, forced to become rebels, forced to become killers, and lost their education, lost their hopes. And one of the other things that happened was that they empowered these small boys to believe that the gun is so powerful. The weapon is so powerful that you can control people because they could control their parents, they could control adults. Just because they have a gun in their hands, they have a bullet. So they could tell you, sit down, even though they are small boys, and they would sit down. So one of the things that inspired me about the Young People's Party when they reached out to me was, wow, this is a way of getting the young people to know that you can get power by the ballot and not by the bullet. Because they have seen themselves as so empowered that they can use a bullet and get power and control whole villages. A small boy can control a whole village because he's holding a gun. And I said to myself, is this God talking to you? That you can get young people to know they can get power through the ballot. And that was for me, it was like a watershed moment. Finance this Young People's Party and get young people. And when I came to campaign with the Young People's Party across Sierra Leone for the 2002 elections, we campaigned across Sierra Leone. I financed everything, T-shirts, everything. And every single place we went to, I told the young people of this country that, in fact, all our parliamentary candidates were aged between 21 and 29 years of age. All of them. We had nobody above that age who I paid. I paid for all of them to contest the elections. I could not contest elections, of course, but I paid for every one of them to contest as parliamentary candidates. So every place we went to in this country, I said to the young people, whether it is in Blama in Kenema, whether it is in Cambia in, I remember this village we went to, Binle Dixon, where I slept, or whether it is in Rotifunk in Moyamba, wherever I went, I gathered young people and I said to them, you can get power through the ballots. You can become powerful through the ballots. You can talk to your colleagues. You are in the majority, young people, and you can get your colleagues to vote for you. And you can become powerful without the gun. Because now we have to disarm. Tijan Kaba had disarmed the rebels. So you no longer have power. But you now can have power through the ballot. So that was like the inspiration.
How you get into... you became when you became a card-carrying member of the APC that you get for serve in the government, in the Nesbai Kuma government.
Okay, so we'll backtrack a little bit. I became a card-carrying member of the APC on the day I was born, 1971. It's a very interesting.
I register you?
Yeah, it's a very interesting story. Yeah, my whole family knows that story. My grandfather was a foreign minister, and he was addressing the United Nations at the moment I was being born, October 1, 1971. His address in the United Nations was a very, very pivotal issue that changed the whole global dynamics. He wrote about it in his book. Whether China should be allowed to take the place of Taiwan at the United Nations. My grandfather led that fight for China. And that's one of the reasons why the Chinese have such a soft spot for Sierra Leone. Because without Sierra Leone, at that pivotal moment, there's no way China would have been able to remove Taiwan from that seat and bring, there's no way China could have been able to get Taiwan out and China take the seats at the United Nations. It was S.A.J. Pratt, Solomon A.J. Pratt, my grandfather, who beat George Bush, who was then the ambassador to the American ambassador to the United Nations. It was a pivotal debate. October 1, 1971, my grandfather is addressing the United Nations. He leaves the podium after he finishes addressing, putting the case for China. And when he comes out, you know, there's a 4-hour difference between Sierra Leone and America. And he comes out, and in those days, we didn't have social media, we didn't have WhatsApp, we didn't have these things. What we had was something called a telegram. And the telegram, normally, they have, if it's a bad news, it comes to the black line. If it is a good news, it comes to the red line. So my grandfather steps off the podium, and the then head of Chancery, the then permanent representative, walks over to him and says, Mr. Pratt, there's an urgent telegram for you from Freetown. So, but it's marked red. So he opens the telegram, and in the telegram is a message, congratulations, you have a second granddaughter. And that was me. They were telling him that I have been born. Because I was born at the very moment he was addressing the United Nations in a very powerful speech. So then he sends a telegram back, and he says to them, this girl is a wonderful girl. She's born with blessing. Go get her an APC party card. So I got my party card on the day I was born. Yes, it's a story everybody knows in my family. October 1st, 1971, my grandfather...
So you born into the party?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So I always tell people, when you join APC, I joined APC the day I was born. This is October 1, 1971.
Yeah. So in all your advocacy life and all of this, or in all of it, establishing the newspaper, walking around with the Tijankaba government then, and for being peace and all of that, you get this realization, say you are APC.
Always. Let's go back a little bit again. When I'm in America, you know the guy who used to be majority leader of the APC is called Honorable Ibrahim Bundu.
Yeah. Okay.
Honorable Ibrahim Bundu and myself and a few other people, former Deputy Minister of Energy, he's now late, Bash Kamara, former Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, former Member of Parliament, Binet, a few of us, less than 10 of us. But mostly myself and Bosco, we call him Bosco, Honorable Ibrahim Bundu. Mostly me and Honorable Ibrahim Bundu. We sat down one day. I remember I sat down with him with his wife at their house until 2 o'clock in the morning. And we were saying the APC, because at that time, Dr. John Khalifa Smart of the UNPP was the main opposition leader in Sierra Leone. But he had left Sierra Leone. He had fled during the war and the crisis, and he was mislabeled. So he had no intention of going back. So there was this vacuum. And myself and Honorable Ibrahim Bundu, we said, listen, Uncle Eddie Toure was then the leader of the APC. He was also in America, but he was sick. He had some heart issues. So there was a real vacuum in leadership. And we said, listen, the APC, we can build the APC. It's an empty castle. This is our party. This was, I'm telling you, this was in 1999, 2000. We said, we can build our party. So what we did, I, Sylvia Blyden, sitting here today, the very first office APC ever had in the United States of America was at one of the most prestigious buildings in America. They call it the Bank of America building in New Hampshire Avenue in Maryland. My money is what rented that office, what contributed to renting that office. So in 1999, I, Sylvia Blyden, paid for the APC to have an office in America. In 1999, I paid for the APC to have a website, bright red website. Within 24 hours of opening that website in 1999 to 2000, within 24 hours, unheard of at that time, we got over 1,000 people from across the world visiting the website. It was massive. It was the interest in the APC. We woke up the consciousness of people. And one of the people who woke up the consciousness to have hope in was Ernest Bai Koroma. At that time, he was the managing director of Ritzco. This is a fact. He knows this. And as by Kroma calls us, because we put on the website, we put the telephone number for the APC, because we called it the APC Global Office. We put the website for the APC on, we put the contact telephone number. And as by Kroma calls us, he's so excited. He said, we have inspired him. He wants, in fact, he was saying, gentlemen, gentlemen. He didn't even realize it's a woman, or there's a powerful woman also in the team. His message he left on the answering machine was, gentlemen, gentlemen, this is Anes by Kroma. I have just seen this website. I am so inspired. How can we work together? This was Anes by Kroma, managing director of Ritco. At that time, I was financing the APC. So, 1999, 2000, I'm already full-fledged APC. Now,
but not openly or publicly?
Openly in America. It's not a secret. We will hold meetings. We will call meetings in America. Believe me, at that time, the APC was like, nobody know how to touch APC that any. When we call meetings in America, if we get 10 people attending, we are so happy. Oh, we got 10 people.
So now you revive, one of the people who revive the party.
There's no debate on that. It's a fact. 100%.
But why when you come home, openly associate with the party?
But that's what you might think, that are not openly associated with the party. But let me tell you what happened. In 2001, Honorable Ibrahim Bundu decides he's coming back home to Sierra Leone to get involved locally. In fact, I remember the day he called me and he said, sis, I can't go salon. I don't make up my mind. I left Maria to an MPKN to you. That's his wife and his little, he had little children at the time. And it was a huge sacrifice he made to leave America. And I said to him, Bosco, go ahead. I'll join you later. So he came to Sierra Leone. And when he came, he met this big fight. Now, I personally, Uncle Edward Toure was the leader of the APC at the time, was a protege of my grandfather. My grandfather, S.J. Pratt, was a very powerful APC politician. But he trained a lot of young political lawyers. He trained a lot of them to become APC, and one of them was Eddie Toure. So because of my grandfather supporting Eddie Toure, automatically my support was for Eddie Toure, was for Uncle Eddie. That's what I called him. So Bosco comes to Sierra Leone, Ibrahim Bundu comes to Sierra Leone, and he says to me, when he comes, he says to me, sis, you remember that man women call we left message at that phone? I said, yes. He said, that guy Anes by Kroma? I said, yes. He said, that guy, they nobody know for Ebola move. He said, the breeze where they get Matarodo said, no, let him up one time. He was describing the popularity of Anes by Kroma across the APC. So I said, Uncle Eddie, and he said, he said, not able that Monday. He said, that Monday right now, I get APC. He said, across. He said, so me, I don't support Anes by Kroma. I said, me, they support Anes by Kroma now. So I said to him, hey, boy, I said, this, you look like betrayal. How you go come out? Bien Uncle Eddie, they go support this man. He said, sis, he said, no option all day. He said, that man, that breeze, he said, I can always remember his word. He said, the breeze where this man gets, he said, matter, we don't need him up front time. So that is how he came and he supported Anes by Kroma. But then they started this fighting in the party. I've been in the APC. I then decided I would support Uncle Musa Suma. There was a guy called Musa Suma. He was very rich. He had a lot of money. But I wasn't supporting him because he was rich, but because he was my father's friend. I grew up knowing him.
It was personal.
Yeah, no, I grew up knowing him, and I had seen him become successful in business. He was a millionaire, multimillionaire in business. And I realized to myself, if he could become this successful, he was born in Cambia, Guinea aspect, but he came and he built himself. He wasn't from a rich family. I said, if he could become this successful, then he can be a good president. So I discussed with Uncle Musa Suma, and he said to me, Sylvia, I can't take over my business. He had a lot of confidence in me. He spoke to his wife, and Ramatu, and he said, let her come and take over. He had this Xerox copying computer stuff business. He said, come to Sierra Leone, can't take over my business, me to go into politics. Me to go into, active leadership because he wants to be president of Sierra Leone. So I was supporting Musa Suma. I realized that because, okay, Uncle Eddie, they don't try, supporting Musa Suma. Bosco, they support Anes by Kroma. Some of the other money, they support Anes by Kroma. Amadou, then people, then they begin fighting inside APC. It was nasty. It reached the point where I said to myself, I cannot be a part of this.
You left?
I not left. Now the coincidence what happened was at that point when they fought themselves, it was very, very bad. I won't say it on air. It was very nasty. At that point, it's the point now when the Young People's Party contacted me and said they want me to lead their party. So on that basis now, I now contacted the APC and I said to them, I'm taking a sabbatical from the APC.
Suspend your leader,
membership. Oh yes, I suspended my membership. I took a sabbatical and I came to lead the Young People's Party. So that is how, because there was no, listen, the 2002 election, the way APC fought, we safe, 2002. And I see no party fought themselves which how we fought we safe.
So how you come back now the APC and come serve under Ernest Bai Koroma?
Well, of course, I was in the Young People's Party in 2000. Buy mobile phone for every single APC district chairman. You buy mobile phone for them, load their phone, motorcar. He had money. But Ernest Koroma, without all of that, they were able, politics again is manipulation. If you can manipulate and get the better of the other person. So they were able to get into Nkomo Suma's camp, and they misled Nkomo Suma not to go to the convention. On the guise that if he doesn't go to the convention not go all. Biggest mistake he made. So he not go to the convention. When not go to the convention, and Ernest Bai Koroma didn't go to the convention, then vote Ernest Bai Koroma, he became leader. So with all his money, he could not lead the APC. But I'm just giving you this for you to know that I've been deeply within the APC struggle since way back then, not just financing the APC, not just building the APC in America, but since way back then. Now, came to lead the Young People's Party, as always happens, like what is happening now in the NGC. Small parties, eventually they disintegrate. And people started, because I used to work for Yaya Jammeh in the Gambia, they started building up these stories now that, Yaya Jammeh may give me almost $100,000 for can contest as Young People's Party, me don't eat this money. They start this propaganda and they start this serious infighting within the party. So by 2004, I decided to leave the Young People's Party. So I wrote to the party that I'm leaving. At that time, it was the Administration and Registrar General that you write to when you are leaving as leader of a party. So I wrote to the Administration and Registrar General and I left the YPP. Now, in that same 2004, I was involved in a plane crash at Lunge Airport. And Honorable Ibrahim Bundu, to cut a long story short, he brings Ernest Bai Koroma to my hospital. I was admitted at the hospital. So that's the very first time I met Ernest Bai Koroma. Interestingly, I had worked as YPP leader in 2002, and he had been APC leader, but we had never met. We had never met. So the very first time I met him was in 2004. Bosco brings him to my hospital because Bosco, I keep on calling him Bosco. It's called Honorable Ibrahim Bundu. Honorable Ibrahim Bundu brings him to my hospital, and for the very first time I met Ernest Bai Koroma, I have a conversation with him. He inspires me that, okay, this guy is a really nice guy. So I remember I spoke to Bosco after. I said, hey, but this guy is a nice guy. You admire him? Yeah, because at that point now, remember, as I told you, the 2002 fight was very nasty. I didn't like what he did to some people that I admired as leaders in the APC. But from the moment I met him, I remember after he left, I wrote an open letter to Tijan Kaba, where I criticized Tijan Kaba that, listen, your compatriots have been involved in a plane crash. Not any of your ministers, apart from Alpha Timbo, who was a personal friend of mine who came to the hospital to visit me. But none of your other ministers came. And I wrote a powerful letter where I praised Ernest Bai Koroma as opposition leader, and that letter went viral. So Ernest Bai Koroma got so happy, he's kept in touch with me now. He starts calling me on the phone, in both school. I remember my birthday that year was October 1st that year. Ernest Bai Koroma wanted to come to my birthday party. So both school and bring a cat to birthday. I said, no, they are not bring at this, So he calls me on the phone. I remember we spoke on the phone. And from that moment, he said to me, I think it was around midnight. He says to me, say, me say your birthday today. So I said, how are your birthdays? So he said, well, it just don't pass midnight. Me now October 2, me born. So I was like, oh, okay. So from that moment, I started calling him, oh, my birthday mate. So we became friends. And let me tell you something. And it's by Koroma's biography that he used to contest the 2007 elections. I wrote it in 2006, in February 2006.
You were that close?
Yeah, we were very, very close. We were so close that I had a boyfriend who would say, this guy are not clean.
They're jealous.
Yes, we were that close. So he was my friend. I wrote his biography to win the 2007 elections. But where we fell out again was the party seemingly supported Philip Neville in January 2007 when Philip Neville did that horrible thing to me. When I took Philip Neville to court, it was the party's structures. All political parties, you have structures you create One of the structures you create is when your partisans get into problems, you forget Osbook for go bail them. So the party, all political parties, I mean sober political parties, you have people who get Osbook them. The Osbook them, they on standby for go bail when you party person get problem at court. So I was really disappointed. The two people who went to bail Philip Neville when I took Philip Neville to court for what that nonsense he did to me, these were the party's people who, I don't want to call their names on air because they don't beg me, we don't reconcile, but I felt deeply hurt because what Philip Neville did is not something the APC should have been the one to protect, because Philip Neville at that time was using his paper for the APC, obviously, but for them to go and bail Philip Neville using the party structures to bail, I was so angry. I called both school, I called Ernest by Komon, and I said to them, I am not, if you people can do this, then you don't really consider me APC. So that was the falling out in February 2007, when they went to bail Philip Neville. And I knew it was the party structures, because those two men, there is no way they will go there Usbook than them, because I know how the party operates.
Yeah, but later you served after 2010.
No, we make peace. I mean, he was my friend. I mean, you have problems along the way with people, so we had
They apologized to you?
Of course, they had to beg me. I mean, what they did to me was, you know what Philip Neville did to me? For make
You don't forgive Philip Neville? He's dead now?
Of course. That's why I don't even want to, I'm just saying it in passing, you know. I want to explain to you where we fell out. But I was close with Ernest by Komon to the extent of writing the biography where Ernest by Komon take win election. Go check if you see any side other than our
So now they make you been the continuously be a critic of Ernest Komon?
No. I'm naturally a critic of what is of bad governance. I'm naturally a critic of bad governance because I saw what bad governance caused in this country. I saw how bad governance destroyed our country and took our country to war. I saw how bad governance led to pregnant women's stomachs being opened, babies taken out of their stomach. I saw how bad governance led to people having their hands hacked off. I saw how bad governance led to the destruction of our educational system, destruction of our health system, affected our revenue generation. So I saw what bad governance did to Sierra Leone. So I have always, and I will always be a critic of bad governance.
How Ernest Komon become this leader? I remember there was a trip where una been to go China. You write an article, you were praising him as one of the best leader they don't get. How it changed from that person the way una been get plaba to somebody where you can serve and praise in that way.
You got to rephrase the question again. I'm not to understand what you ask.
So
break down properly.
How things change from this Ernest by Komon, where you were criticizing, to somebody where you can work with and been the praise as a good leader.
I did not criticize him on a personal note. All my criticisms of Ernest by Komon were done on issues. And if you can recall, even because you were in active journalism then, even when I was working at the State House, I still criticized him privately. But when I realized that private criticism was not working when it came to the Ebola crisis, I had to go public, even though I was the most powerful woman at State House. And I criticized Ernest by Komon at State House. I was sitting at State House, special executive assistant with cabinet rank, and they are messing up the fight against Ebola. I criticized him, sitting right under him at State House. I have always been a critic of what does not work for Sierra Leone. So to say I never criticized Ernest by Komon when he was president, no. I criticized him privately, and when I realized the criticism, especially for the Ebola outbreak, was not working, I went public with
How
my
you
criticism.
come about for serving Ernest by Komon government?
Well, I came about serving the APC-led government because I came back to, I've always been a politician. I mean, if you look at what I just explained to you, 1999, nobody wants to touch the APC. Some of these people now coming forward and calling themselves flag bearer. In 1999, if you spoke to some of those people now, say can't join APC, they will not do it. We are in America. We are calling Usman Fode Yansane, President Joseph Saidu Moho in Guinea to get information from them for the website, because we need to put information about APC on the website for people. One of the good things about Honorable Ibrahim Bundu was he had worked at the Ministry of Agriculture, and he had a lot of knowledge about agricultural and road infrastructural projects. But we also needed more from President Momo. President Joseph Saidu Momo. He was then in exile in Guinea. So we are sitting in America. We are calling Usman Fode Yansane in Guinea for information. We are calling President Momo for information. So you cannot like question whether it is Ernest Bai Koroma I came to serve or whether I came to serve the APC.
But it was
I came to serve. No, what I'm saying is
not only approach you. How you get the job?
How did I get the job? You see, anybody who don't work with me know that I am a very, very diligent. I'm an asset. In anything I put my hands to, I'm an asset. When I realized that the APC might lose the elections to Julius Maada Bio's SLPP in 2012, because there was that potential there, I realized that because at that point we had seen Julius Maada Bio doing certain things, especially in the area of not able to control some of his supporters who were violent. I got worried that this man's inability, if this man becomes president, we might have a problem because he cannot control violent supporters. So slowly, I started realizing that we cannot afford, because Julius Maada Bio was now the presidential candidate and he wasn't changing his leadership style. That's his leadership style, and he has said it several times that he believes that in politics you must be rude, you must not be polite, you must. And I don't believe that you have to go to that extent that he was going to. And I was worried that if this man becomes president, we might have a crisis. So at that point in time, I remember the late Elizabeth Lavalley and other SLPP members of parliament. They came to Awareness Times and said, okay, please, Julius Maada Bio is now our presidential candidate. Can we make peace between Awareness Times and Julius Maada Bio? Because, you know, the whole issue was that he had these thugs who had been attacking my journalists. So when we make peace, immediately, both school, Honorable Ibrahim Bundu and Ernest Bai Koroma, immediately they call and they invite me to go to Potloko for prayers. They had these Muslim Prede prayers. We go for Muslim Prede prayers, and Ernest Bai Koroma says to his media people, I can't take picture there, not to Maada Bio no more for take picture of Sylvia, because I had taken a picture with Maada Bio, was like a peace picture. So there's a famous picture of myself and Ernest Bai Koroma where you can see him all in smiles, green, and in Potloko. That was the exact moment where he said, let's take a picture, because it was like, this is our asset. This is APC, even though we don't get issues and all, but we're not going to allow her to make peace with Maada Bio and for SLPP like to. So that's how we met at Potloko. We took photographs. I started doing my ordinary journalism things, but you know, when you are APC, you are APC. Eventually, I realized that, I mean, like, I remember I chartered the whole helicopter. I paid for that helicopter, by the way. We chartered the whole helicopter to cover the APC rally in Freetown 2012 elections. And got myself really involved in.
Was that investing with the hope, say, you joined the government after the election? No,
it was just, first of all, let me tell you something. I can always take care of myself. I don't need a government job. I don't need, whatever I see I do is to serve Sierra Leone. I don't need, I sabi make money. I mean, I'm a businesswoman, I sabi make money. I don't need any government job to survive. I don't need any government largesse to survive. I can make money on my own. I tell you, I charter one helicopter.
Yeah, but you should for support the campaign and the election.
Yeah,
not Maada Bio not winning? But
yes.
Maybe don't make peace with Maada Bio.
Yeah, but he continued. You continued seeing the poor leadership style.
It was to ensure Maada Bio didn't win.
I will not use the word spite.
It was to ensure he not win.
Oh, most definitely.
And Ernest Bai Koroma win.
Oh, most definitely.
Ernest Bai Koroma been get any bargain, any commitment?
No, it wasn't. I'm an APC. It was natural.
It was a support to the APC or Ernest Bai Koroma?
To the APC, of course. In fact, when Ernest Bai Koroma offered me the job at State House, I was the first person he offered the job. He offered me the job. He said, "Top not announced results yet."
How? He was sure of winning.
No, come on. You know, they have this thing called RRF forms.
Okay.
Any sober political party, when your agents come with your RRF forms, you input them into the computers, and you start seeing your results. There's a certain threshold where you reach, where you know, say that these are kitchen beats, so they will not win these elections. When you reach a certain threshold, for example, if you have 5 million people registered to vote, you need 55% of 5 million. If all of them go to vote, you need 55%, not so? Now, if you don't count, if I allow make it simpler, let's say 100,000 people register. You need 55% of that 100,000, which is just 55,000 for if all man go vote. If you don't input your information into that computer, your computer don't give you 56,000. The votes then still they come in, but you don't get now your own APC system. You don't see 56,000 don't come in, even though the votes are not carrying it. You know, so you don't win this election. It is simple. Electioneering is a very simple process if you know what you are doing. So we knew what was happening. On the night before Christina Top announces the result, I was very close to Ernest Komon. He calls me, I go to the lodge, and he offers me the job. He says he wants me to be near, but I remember his exact words, Sylvia, you're very smart. Because I know during those campaigns, there were certain things Ernest Komon not me to see. Now we can see. Say, hey, pa, look here now, you know. So I really helped him to see. So he started teasingly calling me his eyes. He said, he will provoke, say, this is so.
Trust you.
Tremendously. Ernest Komon had tremendous trust implicit trust in me. So anyway, he calls me the night before and he says, I want you to come near me at State House. He said, I can send you to any ministry to help me in government, but I want. And my immediate response to him was, I said, pa, the lapses when me sip on these elections with it, because there were some lapses. I said, the party weak. I said, I want to go work at the party headquarters. And he said, no, I want you at State House. I want you near me at State House. Because I wanted to work at the party's headquarters, because I saw so many weaknesses in the, yes, there were so many weaknesses in the 2012 elections. So my original plan was to go work at the party office, the party headquarters. And he said, no, come and work at State House. That's it.
In that capacity, they una work together.
Very
At
much
one
so.
point, you even refer to him as so far the best leader Sierra Leone has ever had. How una fall out to a point where you even don't say former President Kuma is a threat to
National security. Yeah, and I mean it. I meant it. You see, only God and fools don't change. And as by Kuma, I repeat, is one of the best leaders that this country has ever had when he was president. I will say that. It's a fact. And as by Kuma's legacy, recently, for the first time, it was revealed by Komon-Tok Kaba. You know, Komon-Tok Kaba used to be a... I have never said it to people. Of course, the top hierarchy of the party's top hierarchy, they know, because Ernest Komon had called a meeting and he had told people about his handing over notes. That I was the one who wrote his handing over notes. This is a fact. But I had never told anyone until recently, about 2 weeks ago. Komon-Tok Kaba goes on Facebook. I was writing that, I said 2018, Bo lost the election.
He gone away.
No, I didn't name him. I said no minister no get mind talk to Madabio, talk to SIPP. No minister no get mind go on radio and television. I said pass Sylvia online Blyden. And this was a fact. I was the only one brave enough to put on radio and go on national TV, go on radios and start talking that the APC is coming back. None of them get mind. So Komon-Tok Kaba, in defense of himself, he goes and he inadvertently reveals to the whole world. He replies on my Facebook page that no, Sylvia, me they talk. The tell where you they edit and it's by Komon handing over notes in 2018, May 2018. I wrote Ernest Komon's handing over notes non-stop for 3 days. Because everybody made abandon that man. Everybody, this is a fact. His so-called ministers, this, that, nobody not in there around for right handing over notes. I wrote Ernest Komon's handing over notes in May 2018. That handing over notes where Ikego give to Julius Madabio, I wrote it. I had never said it, and I had never had any intention of saying it until Komon-Tok Kaba went to write on my Facebook page that the 10 self-way they write Ernest Komon handing over notes, I'm in there near you, where you they write them, which was not true, but he was trying to confirm what Ernest Komon had told the entire leadership of the party, that APC owes Sylvia Blyden. Because if not for Sylvia, we're not handing over notes. But there was no one. I remember 2 o'clock in the morning, I had to call the night before he handed over the handing over notes to Julius Madabio. There were certain financial and statistical information that I needed. The then financial secretary, who had just been sacked, Edmond Koroma, I'm going for column. Say, Edmond, I need so and so information. And let's for hand over these handing over notes to Madabio tomorrow morning at State House. I need for input. Edmond says to me, he not savvy with for begin snap the thing I want. He said in don't relocate in the Lunge airport. It's up now at Lunge. 2 o'clock in the morning, I had to wake up my assistant for cross with charter boat, for cross go Lunge, for go meet Edmond, now in Os. For cross back with the boat, for car with the information, so that I can look up and make sure say I edit, so that every single information inside the handing over notes is factual. So this I did for Ernest Bai Koroma after I had lost the elections.
How we become this bad person?
But no, I'm now telling you, this was after he don't lost election.
Yeah.
These are the 10-hour Lima, Lawrence Lion Lima there. When they go on radio and television, they go talk to Ernest Bai Koroma, they get secret meeting with generals in Makeni. There was no one near Ernest Bai Koroma to know what to do. I had to create an administrative vehicle where could they use for protect Ernest Bai Koroma for the reply to Lion Lawrence Lima. So I did all of this for this man. To the extent that
was with him as
Africa,
his personal assistant.
Sharif
was with him as his personal assistant.
Always I say so. Sharif will confirm everything I'm telling you. Let's not go into that. All right, just Sharif will confirm everything I'm saying now. Now, it got to a point where the magazine in London called Africa Confidential. You know Africa Confidential. Yeah. When Africa Confidential they attack Ernest Bai Koroma, then they put me saying that me they write for Ernest Bai Koroma. How did they know? Because Ernest Bai Koroma had people like during that GTT report. He don't want to go Guinea. He calls me from Guinea. He had a lot of trust in me to do things for him. So I had to draft certain statements for him. How Africa Confidential managed no? Now the people that made Ernest Bai Koroma na Guinea. Now they expose saying that Dr. Sylvia Blyden writes the statement for Ernest Bai Koroma because I was doing it to help him out. The man was distraught. You know, you just lost power. All man don't betray you. The only person they near you able to trust us if you like a Blyden. This is a fact. By appointees, this is a fact. So now, for someone like that, for the situation to change to where it changes to now, where I say and I affirm, it is simply because when he lost power, he became, you know what they can say, you put a cat in the room and you beat that puss. You put in a room, you lock the mouth. You beat the puss, you beat the puss. The puss now they get option pass for come out now for do anything you want to do with you. And Bai Koroma was boxed in. And he kicked in a lot of self-preservation where he wanted to protect himself at the expense of the state. And I realized that this is not fair. And I gave him certain advice about certain ways he should go. He didn't want to go in the way I advised him that he should go. And that's where the crisis starts. Because for me, anything will go bring instability in Sierra Leone, count me out.
Was he trying to do something like
that?
Well,
I don't know if you have not noticed, but the trend is there. This is a man who currently, as we speak, he has a charge of treason on his head. This is a man, as we speak, he has a charge of misprision of treason on his head. This is a man, as we speak, he has security
as somebody
issues.
where you serve, you believe, say, he will get himself involved in something like that?
100%. I have no doubt on that. I have absolutely no doubt on that. I know what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. I have absolutely no doubt that
he was involved in...
I have absolutely no doubt on it. None at all. None at all. I have no doubt.
You know, of course, you always talk about intelligence and information. You get the intelligence where you should say he was involved in it?
I don't know how else I can say it than how I have just said it. I said I have absolutely no doubt that he was involved. I don't know how else I can say it. I mean...
In what way? Which kind of way you understand?
You see, we are now in a state where, you know, when a country is being led, whatever direction the leader of that country wants the country to go is how the country goes. The leader of our country right now is Julius Maada Bio, His Excellency the President. How he wants Sierra Leone to go right now is how Sierra Leone is going. For me, I would have preferred for Ernest Bai Koroma's treason case to go ahead. Let the facts come out, let everything come out to the public, and then if he is found guilty, we now appeal for him to be pardoned. But Julius Maada Bio's own style of leadership is different. His own style of leadership is take him out of the picture, take him out of the country, let him stay out there. When things settle and whosoever is creating instability are no longer in the picture, we can bring him back. And he's the leader. You have to respect his leadership style. If I was the president of Sierra Leone, that case against Ernest Bai Koroma, they go ahead. The evidence, the public would hear the evidence.
Is it, you think so he's being protected?
Of course. Hey boy, big time.
By who?
Julius Maada Bio.
Why?
Because that is his leadership style. He believes this is how he will be able to get Sierra Leone peaceful, stable. This is his own style. He has read, I don't know what he's reading that I am not reading. He has read the cards. The way he's reading the cards, having Ernest Bai Koroma in exile is better for the security of Sierra Leone. That's how he has read the card. And he is the leader of Sierra Leone.
I ask again, at what level you think, say, former President Koroma could have been involved in making the country unstable?
What do you mean at what level?
Which kind involvement?
Well, you see, I don't know how to put it again. I just tell you, say, this man has a case for treason on his head that he has not been able to successfully defend himself. He prefers to leave the country than defend himself on that case. I don't know how else to put it, because if I mean not say me innocent, you come with waiting I consider as bogus, go through the process, and if there's no evidence,
But you say you clearly 100% sure say.
I'm not gonna doubt.
You not get doubt.
I'm not get doubt.
They ask now whether
doubt.
now he send the people them, he's been in communication with them, he financed them. In what at what stage?
I that's what I'm saying to you. If I was the leader of Sierra Leone, if I was the president of Sierra Leone, I would bring out every single information that made me to have my Attorney General charge Ernest Bai Koroma for treason. I would let the public see everything, and then afterwards, I would pardon him.
Is it still a threat to national security?
I have not spoken to Ernest Bai Koroma in many, many years. You can only know someone is a threat to security if you have a one-on-one dialogue with him, you advise him in a certain way, he doesn't listen to your advice, he prefers another way, and you know that, well, based on my one-on-one conversation, this man a threat. I haven't spoken to him in years. I think the last time I spoke to Ernest Bai Koroma was January 2021, so that's like 5 years. So I'm guessing here, I'm not too sure. I think that's the last time I spoke to him.
You still consider him as your brother, or una relationship, una family relationship don't scatter?
I will not say the family relationship scatter per se, because first of all, as I said to you, I haven't spoken to him I think this January would make it 5 years. I stopped speaking to him around January 2021. Yeah. So from that time, I have not spoken to Ernest Bai Koroma. So whatever relationship we had, I don't know what the state of that relationship is.
No, in your own estimation, you now his brother still, you consider him as family?
This is a man I served as president. This is a man I served as a minister and also as a special executive assistant. Don't forget, I resigned from State House. He called me back. Sylvia can't work back. In fact, he called me back. He said, I go back to the State House. I said, probably not go Because I remember you were one of the journalists they used to use at State House to leak all sorts of fake information.
So I mean, one of the journalists will be report the thing.
No.
Every journalist gets source.
I know.
Every journalist gets
one journalist when they use that State House.
No.
Okay, not to use.
I'm a journalist. I get me source.
Okay, you know one of the journalists, they were sources at State House, but they give information.
I was seeking information.
Forget about the special executive assistant.
I was seeking information. Just like I yourself been the seek information.
Amadu, some other information they give for right one.
No, I mean they ask, not to give
information. How you go manage the right?
There were things.
The way the right.
No, there were controversial things you were reporting on. Like you said, you were challenging government itself. You were at State House, but you be the challenge government.
No, that's what I talk about. I'm talking about, for example, trips. I remember there was a trip to Kuwait or something like that.
Where you not been the part of?
Yeah, you just you pull out information. They only can give.
Usually the special executive assistant was always traveling with the president. And here's the special executive assistant, not part of this trip. And I say, why? Why is...
How you manage see the itinerary? How you manage see the...
Not because
how you manage
journalists, I ask. Why they go in, who they go. Up to now, I ask about President Bio. I ask about him. Anyway, so I was just a savvy journalist.
No, right? Let's not get distracted.
I was asking about your relationship with Ernest
Yes, so keep in mind.
You still consider him as family, as
no, keep in mind, this is somebody I served. I was a part of his government. There is no way I would not defend his government. You should be in some of these WhatsApp group, and I defend him, his legacy, and some of the things he's done. I defend him. I mean, I write the man in handing over notes.
Yeah.
From pep to perep, na me writer.
What's in behind this fallout? How will I fall apart?
No, because it's a national issue for me. Peace, stability. I don't tell you, me are the only person in this country we interview every single actor you can imagine na this rebel war.
So now because you not agree for join and former President Komon for bringing instability, or because you are aware of it, make una scatter?
President Komon was, as I said to you, who was caught with his back against the wall. The first law of nature is self-preservation. Everybody wants to preserve themselves. Now, depending on how you interest for the common good override your interest for yourself, you can balance your selfishness as a human being. But human beings are innately selfish. We are selfish. We want what protects us. But the more you care about the common good, the more you reduce what you want that protects you, and you increase what protects the common good. I had a lovely relationship with Ernest Komon. Ernest Komon Osna McKinney, I had unlimited access.
Yeah, I remember you traveled.
Ernest Komon Osna Godrich, I had unlimited access. In their tongue, in other tongue, in people then they give me key for enter. If I go McKinney, Ernest Komon other tongue, I get something for doing at McKinney. His staff would open the house for me to go there and sleep there. That is the relationship I had with him and his family. It was a family relationship. Now, it falls apart when you have your viewpoint about how the country forgo, we will keep the country stable. Somebody else get their viewpoint about how the country forgo, we will keep the country stable. And if your viewpoint is one where there is so much divergence in how you think, eventually it will create some, especially at that level, because we are talking about the nation here.
You were advising former President Komon then? You will give advice or talk to them
on what?
Security or
of course,
on a lot of things.
Of course.
You know, will take your advice?
Well, it took some. It took some advice. Yes, it took some advice.
Is there anything personal between you?
Nothing personal. Nothing personal. It's, believe me, it's a policy difference. I defend Ernest Komon when it has to do with something within the life Panam. I defend him. I defend Ernest Komon when it comes to his legacy. I defend him. His legacy as president. He's one of the best presidents we'll ever get. It's a fact. I served him in his government. I would always defend his government. The things that we left, the legacy we left, the structures we left, I'm proud of them.
There any possibility for Luna make peace?
I don't see why not. It's very possible, yeah. I mean, it's not personal. I said no, say not. It's not personal.
He knows what time Suna go make peace back.
I don't know. You say there is possibility.
But maybe say okay, if you do this, or you not do this, or you not do that.
I don't know what you're asking.
No, I'm asking because you say you still consider him as a threat to national security.
I don't say so. I say don't pass 5 years and not talk to him.
No, but as now we're not there. You still consider him as a threat to national security?
I don't know. I don't have evidence to that. You have to understand what I'm saying. I have not spoken to this man in 5 years. In the 5 years that I have not spoken to this man, I don't know his thought process. I don't know what he's thinking. The tell one in thought process, but I know say I can pick up phone at any time and call him say, hey, pan, so and so and so. How, you know? I know I was one of his closest. So what's communication?
Now you stop for column or now you stop for calling?
I don't think somebody stopped to call. I don't actually, to say the honest truth, I don't even know how it happened. What I know is that he had this puppy in Holland. We begin to misbehave, you know. When they were doing their strategies, they needed to get my voice out of the picture. So because my voice was so powerful, that if they not mean demonize me to the rank and file of the APC, they not mean cook up all their lies here, they broadcast them, it might have been difficult for them to get away with certain things that they want to get away with. So you had this puppet who started attacking me from Holland. And I think that's because when you know the truth about who controls that puppet, and you know the person who controls the puppet cannot stop the puppet from attacking you, you know that, oh no, this is now serious. And that that puppet was really attacking me.
So that makes it personal, that he's sending someone after you and you.
No, not personal. I tell you, it's a policy thing. It's like, listen, this woman, if we not demonize this woman inside APC party, if we not lie on this woman to people that are this APC party, we'll get problem. Because what you want to do, this woman in they go so. So it is like, it's a policy. You know, in political party, they have what they call dirty tricks department. So to me, if you're a politician, certain things you don't take it personal. You know that this is a policy direction.
You think you've said anything against your former boss and his by Koma where you get regret over?
No.
You stand by all which you don't say.
Every single thing, of course. I don't tell you, say, Mother Bio get in your leadership style. His leadership style is taken as by Koma out of the picture, keep him away, and eventually maybe they will bring him back and maybe remove the case from the courts, and the country will be stable, then we'll make peace like how they do in Kenya. That is Mother Bio's own style. My own style would have been expose everything, let the public know everything, and then if he's found guilty, pardon him, and then we'll make peace. But we have different leadership styles.
You consider former President Koma as an influential person within the APC party. You're in a comrade, right?
Of course, a very senior comrade. He has served as the chairman and leader of the party.
You consider him as influential person when they go lead up to election for elected flag bearer?
There is absolutely no way Ernest Bai Koroma not will be influential at the APC till he die. He will be influential in the APC until he dies. But influence is given to you by God. You get my point? So now if God say you would influence certain things, God would allow you to influence certain things. If God will give you that power for influence certain things, God say, but you don't pass mark, not to so. God will remove that influence there from you. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So that's it. Yeah.
You think, say, he'll be influential in the party selecting or electing who get for be flag bearer for 2028?
I just answered that question. I don't know how to answer it again.
No, we could answer with God in divine intervention.
No.
Make influential.
Because I don't know. I'm a Christian, and in Christianity, everything you are taught is that now by God in power. I think even the Muslims, inshallah, everything now by God in power.
Well, you say you'll be influential in the party until you die, right?
Of course.
So you think, say, influence gets any role for play in the election of who that could be flag bearer 2028?
If God agree, if God says so, then his influence would negate or add to. Because it depends. Influence can be negative, it can be positive. So if God say yes, me will give you that power. Because I tell you, say, when I did America, both school Honorable Ibrahim Bundu calls me and says to me, this man women call we left message and we answering machine. Because at that time we don't know him. That message he left an answering machine for we. Both school say, Honorable Ibrahim Bundu say, this man will left that message. He's so powerful now, Matarodo self-knowledge him up front him. His exact words. So this was Ernest Bai Koroma in 2001. Very powerful, very popular. People that will get money pass him. Musa Suma will get money pass him. Far away. People that were strategic in politics, where he meets them in politics. The Seri Kamas, the editorials, he met them in politics. You get my point? He overcame them because of his Matarodo self-knowledge him up front, according to Bosco. So this is somebody who in 2001, God gave him power. God gave him. Now, we're now in 2026, which is 25 years later. God still gave him that power there. Only time and God will tell.
Also, you stand presently in the APC party to a point that you and an Eskoma we don't serve in that capacity, then you still believe say he'll be influential until death. Now the party gonna get issues. You gonna get disagreements, if I could say. Waiting now you stand na the APC party presently.
I don't know what you ask.
You status in you influence, especially where it's facts that
let me tell
is
you,
still powerful within the party.
I'm also very powerful within the party.
So now make a
listen, make no mistake. This is what
between you and you are more powerful.
But Amadu, you're not going to box roll me into
no, I'm not going to box roll me into
a box to evaluate. First of all, that would only be determined by go to what is this gentleman named now IGL. Let do survey. Yes, they do survey. And we will because I get the skill set.
Yeah, but you can see and say no.
I won't know. I won't know. What I know is I know I'm powerful. I know I am loved in the APC. I'm one of the most popular figures in the All People's Congress. This is the fact. You cannot take it from me. A blessing from God. I'm anointed inside the All People's Congress. Now, if you watch the amount of people that really gang up for fet me over the years, then so boku. You don't fight someone like that unless the person is anointed. So you see them, they create, then they keep fet me and they create people the way for sorts of fiber Sylvia, for neutralize Sylvia in effect. But it hasn't worked. I am still one of the most popular women, one of the most loved women. Yesterday I was in Kailaung. Kailaung district chairman Imama died, the APC chairman for Kailaung, Imomi died. So I go now the 7 days. If you see the love for me from these are party stakeholders in the APC in Kailaung. Across Sierra Leone, I am loved. I am heavily loved within the All People's Congress. No mind, you know what you have to pay, what you have to be careful about. Don't pay attention to, because you can get 50 people, then put them on social media. Like for example, today's morning, so say how will they talk, so write it on your Facebook page. If you go there now, you go meet some people there, where they just they cost me no more, they just they cost me no more, then go there at the page, then go they write it now. See if you're a stupid woman, see if you're this woman, see if they just keep on writing. These are people who are sent to give an impression that does not exist. That is Sylvia not popular.
Yeah, but you think everybody go like you?
Of course not. But the majority loves me. The majority of APC people loves me. I mean, I tell you this for free. The majority, vast majority of APC people.
So then they give you edge and advantage for be flag bearer of APC?
Everybody can have ambitions. You can have ambitions, and as a woman, when you step up with your ambitions, it gives a ripple effect, especially to the girl child coming up. It gives a ripple effect. And I am someone who elect not to inside salon, elect not overseas, elect not Guinea. Like this election at Guinea will just be so. The only woman where the general give permission for contest elections, I supported her during the election. Okay,
on your Facebook page.
Yeah, and more than that, in fact, I gave her whatever support. Now, I support women when they stand, because every time they stand up, it creates a ripple effect for our girls.
But you know the support Yvonne.
She's not worth my support.
But she's a woman.
It cannot be blind support. You have to look at someone, there are certain characteristics. I support her on things that, for example, recently, she was doing something where I know say this, that the correct thing they do, where they raise alarm, say, the way the body then they fall down the street, the amount of the body they pick up as a council. And you see that what she's saying makes sense. But people let me they try for mocker. And I stepped up to say, no, because this, and again, this is where your selfishness as against the common good kicks in. I don't like Yvonne. I don't like what Yvonne has tried to, because she's tried to destroy me. And I mean, it's not a secret.
In what way?
Okay, let me land.
Okay.
I don't like Yvonne. I don't like what she's done to me personally. But when you look at the common good, which is the body then they fall in the street, and then they try to suppress, like saying a nonsense Yvonne they talk. Well, not a nonsense they talk. I stood up to support her because in that scenario, the common good is bigger than my selfish personal issue with Yvonne Akisoya. So I stood on my surprise, say, I see that they support Yvonne, so I supported her because it was the right thing to do. The body that they fall in the street too much, the woman they talk the correct thing, or they can't begin tell we say let the woman go do autopsy. Who's kind of nonsense this? So I supported her. There are things again, recently, she appointed someone as chief counselor at the council. Well, she and the council, they appointed. And the person appointed is a woman. Other councils, them, like a Kenema, they get chief counselor. Other side, and but because this one a woman, I don't want bully her. I said, no. So I stood up again, and I supported her. But I don't support blindly. And especially somebody who you know goes out of their way to try to destroy you, like Yvonne tried.
How will Yvonne try
if they will go to ChatGPT, right, and say, how did Yvonne Akisoya try to unbox?
No, people when they listen now, they could understand, they could know.
It is a long, it is, I don't know, I think they fool Yvonne. They misled her that she can take me on and bring me down. She was misled. Because if me can a community of people, and I meet somebody where me ain't come out from a same background, a smaller background than that big community there. I meet that person, they're already in place. Then I find out, say, the other people that are already in that community, then seem for they go after this person, with me ain't get the same background. So God, I need to join them for go after that person there. I must think to myself, say, this lady, where them busy, they attack this lady so. Is it possible that then they attack her because of the attributes that we get where we own background get? That would have been my thought. What you even do is she comes in and she thinks that, oh, okay, her perception is they not like Sylvia and her APC, so I can replace Sylvia. She thinks it's that easy, so she comes in and she starts doing her manipulations, she starts doing things, starts lying about me.
Is this a fight between you and him? Is it that you think that she's fighting you?
She's always fought me since he came. This is a lady where when I'm in the run me newspaper awareness times, I promoted her big time because we're from the same church. We're from the same network. So whenever they send messages to me about she's doing this, I mean, getting runs away, they didn't work, the marathon them for raise funds for Sierra Leone. Front page, I'll give Yvonne. That day London, I'll promote her big time. So there was nothing personal. She comes in to governance and politics, and she starts undermining me. The difference between me and her is I do not undermine people in the darkness. I don't play games. I don't go behind somebody's back and start lying about them. When you do me something, I say it up front. And that's what happened between us. I mean, they talk me on up front.
Is it about you expecting her to pay homage, to come and say, I'm here and you need to recognize? Is it about recognition? If I recognize you as somebody who's been done the day before, is that the personal issue?
Not really. Although when you put it that way, then that would not have been bad if you come and pay homage.
And I don't know you should have been the expect?
No, not really. It not ever crossed my mind. But the way you put it, put and so, yeah, it's a possibility. She could have come and pay homage. You're quite right, because he meet me at the party. So like what he is.
So now then they make you think, say, no, you not can show respect to me. So
no. Believe you me, pass like when you talk and so. Now it crossed my mind. Say yes, she could have done that. She never did, but she just came.
Well, I've been getting relationship.
Very good relationship. Because the woman feels able to replace me within the party.
And you know one person for replace you?
Not in the way she wants to do it. You don't demonize someone because you want to replace the person. So you demonize the person. Now, you know all political parties, you have sectors. This is this sector. And you want to replace the person in this sector. And so you say, okay, the best way for doing that, demonize them. When I demonize them, then myself can rise. So basically, that's it.
But you're doing the same to her. You making her you.
No. Me not the lie. That's the difference between me and her. In the lie, me not the lie.
But Yvonne is not here, Doc. You're accusing her of lying. You get evidence to that?
She did. She called me. I mean, okay. You know what? You're quite correct. She's not here, and we might take this conversation into a realm where she's not around.
Exactly, so to defend herself and all of that.
But she already knows that. It's an open secret. It is out there. I shared what she lied about. It's out there on the.
On a close community, don't ever try. You say we not go to the same church. We don't ever try for resolve this.
She believes she can replace me,
and you don't want to be replaced.
Not in the way she wants to do it.
But it's politics. You're fighting for it.
Well, I know politics is a contact sport. So that's it. So she comes in, she thinks she can replace me. And I look at her sometimes. I can just look at her smile, She has a personal assistant who can send message to me. If you say you're tough, we don't shoot you in a corner. She has this personal assistant who sends me this message. And I read his messages and I just laugh sometimes. I look at her and I smile because the journey I have traveled, the experience I have, the relationships I have built, It's not something that dissolves.
But this is family, like you say. When I get close relationship, right?
In politics, because it's a contact sport, and because for some people politics is a do or die affair, they forget about the family aspect. Politics is politics.
And family not don't try for resolve una.
When somebody believes, say, then he able shoot somebody in the side and take over the space where the person dey, that person is not interested for resolve because the person believes saying so tough. So the person believes the way is if he says so tough that it can come, he can push you and he can come up. So somebody like that doesn't want to reconcile.
You consider Yvonne as a strong contender for the flag bearer?
Astagfirullah.
Why not? She's
a jokey depan.
Why? Your sister don't commend them. Your sister Fatima Bio publicly, commend them for coming out. Now very big support that yeah. You don't come up being joke. For first lady come out and say, yeah, this is good, you're doing this and all of that. It means there are people are watching and appreciating that she's coming out. You still think she's a joke?
No.
You don't consider her as a strong contender?
A non-starter. She's a non-starter.
She won election twice.
In Freetown?
Yeah.
If I let me tell you, you know what? A lot of you people, you don't look at statistics. Yvonne get the lowest ever percentage. Listen, let me land. Don't cut me off. The lowest ever percentage where any mayor of Freetown don't ever get Yvonne Akisoya get her. Now, Freetown na APC base. Now, like you give symbol to somebody for contest for mayor na Kenema. Now, SLPP the winner. Freetown, we dress broomstick. We put our gear symbol. We go contest for mayor of Freetown. The broomstick the winner. So don't tell me say.
But at least she's contested public election twice and
listen. Experience. Let put the RRF forms. Possibly get experience RRF form not the lost Nayan.
But by election, even don't contest two, we win. You don't contest public election.
My dear. Broomstick, you dress and red, you get a symbol. It's the win mayor of Freetown for APC. So don't tell me about Yvonne non contest to tell you. Tough election.
No, I just want to. It was a tough election. Get Gentry contest against her. Gentry is also popular.
Listen.
No, but you say this. It means she campaigned and won an election. You don't contest election, you win.
Donald Trump did not contest any election.
No, I'm asking you, not to Donald Trump.
Donald Trump did not contest any election before he win landslide in America. So you don't need to contest. That is a cheap. Listen, that's a cheap gimmick.
Can we agree that Yvonne gets election experience than
what?
In contesting an election, campaigning and winning?
Me go ask Yvonne first. Let's give you the RRF forms, the results for that election where he contest. Where pull that results? He say, okay, polling station this this number I get. Polling station that this number I get. Where pull the results? So you go tell me say get electioneering experience. I beg dear, no talk on that topic.
Now the technical thing they talk about.
She doesn't have it.
But waiting they ask. Waiting I want ask quickly.
Broomstick, you get a red, you get a symbol. Yeah, can't contest. It beats SLPP in a Freetown. This now
you feel slighted that your sister openly First Lady Fatima Bio comments now in declaration.
I have no comments on that. I'm sorry.
Why not?
I don't want to talk on that. Not one thing I will talk. I don't want to comment on it.
You know, only your sister feel offended.
I don't want to comment on it. I mean, next question, please.
No, but I still ask you this question because what you make they ask you. There was a time where you post on your Facebook page say, there's this shield, and the shield don't come out. Is it Fatima Bio? The shield will be the protect. Is it President Bio or the government? Where you not mentioning name, but you spoke about a shield where not there again.
Me? Shield?
Yeah, there was a statement. I think it was after the birthday issue. You wrote something about you not being.
No, I've never done that. No, right?
I go look for
the next thing I do, I'm there. Because listen, I'll tell you something.
After the birthday.
When you get somebody like me in your studio, make sure that you get factors.
That is what I would like to ask you the question now. Your relationship with First Lady Fatima Bio. It come bad after the birthday.
Relationship bad?
No, I'm asking. You came out open and say you not feel happy that.
I don't say so.
What do you say?
After the birthday?
No, like,
After the birthday, when
you
I
been
wish me
happy
happy
when I wish you
birthday?
happy birthday? You been happy?
She did. What she did not do was to wish me happy birthday publicly.
Now, that is what I'm asking
No,
about.
she wished me happy birthday. No, let's get something clear.
Mm-hmm.
Not of us say Fatima not wish me happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it is so interesting that I was in Trinidad and Tobago on holidays for my birthday, and she was in America. And she's one of the first people who wished me happy birthday on that day. So not of us say Fatima not wish me happy birthday. Let me land.
Okay, go ahead, dog.
Not of us say Fatima not wish me happy birthday. She definitely wished me happy birthday. That day they said, we engaged for a long time. Till they provoke all the tell and say, oh, because that was the day I was to meet female members of parliament in Trinidad and Tobago. So I tell her, I say, you sister, today a tough day, or they meet the highest ranking female politicians in Trinidad and Tobago. So it's not like she didn't wish me happy birthday. She did. She was very special on that day. Called me. But what happened since we reconciled? Every single year, she would go on her Facebook page and wish me happy birthday publicly. She did it in 2022. She did it in 2023. She did it in 2024. Now, she did not do it in 2025. And immediately I realized, because you have to understand that prior to that, she had been under tremendous stress in her party. You see, someone like Dr. Sama Bania would write about my relationship with Fatima in a very negative manner. You would see the current chief minister's people, he has these media people, they would attack my relationship. You see, the chief minister would go on the air and talk, pull int about me and Fatima. And so I realized she was under tremendous stress within her party. And so I realized that this Pekin, well, not a Pekin, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm being a first lady, but I have to be the big sister here and realize that she's under tremendous pressure from the SLPP for my sake. Because for Fatima not for wish me happy birthday publicly, it is the pressure from the SLPP.
And you took that personal?
I'm not taking personal. People misunderstood it. I posted, in fact, if people look, I said, God bless you, because I understood what was happening. If you can look at what I posted, now people they can just want to misinterpret what you are saying. I say, wish me happy birthday. God bless you. Because
now they say you misinterpret or misread what
no, let me land. So let me use this opportunity now to tell people. I'm not vexed because Fatima not wish me happy birthday publicly. I feel am for him because I realize that the stress way in party they put on him is so tremendous that she doesn't deserve this. If you even look at what I wrote, I say, God bless you. Because I understood where she was coming from. And for her to be under that type of stress, I mean, the kind of things they write, then they even put me, say, me the effect in marriage. Then they write articles, and they published it in a Nigerian-operated magazine. That's it. Blyden, they create problem that the first lady and the president, their marriage. Imagine. So I said to myself, this lady doesn't deserve this type of pressure. And that's why I took a decision saying, you know what? Let me back off and give her space so she can be free from this, because she was under pressure. That's the bottom line. But people understand.
Relationship vex politics. Relationship, sister.
That type of pressure.
You defended her publicly, like you.
And I will continue to defend her. I will continue to defend her. She's my sister. Any Sarah sister she needs defend. I've never involved in her politics, in her SLPP politics. But if I see any side say they want bully her or they want to do anything, I will defend her. She's my sister. But I have to keep off because to make her SLPP people happy. Because she's under tremendous stress. I mean, if you see the kind of things they're writing about justice, they make me like, so powerful. Not Fatima in life, which was not true. They painted me like I was this powerful person. Even to her marriage, and they put me inside the story, And I said to myself, this lady doesn't deserve this.
What's in our relationship presently?
She would always be my sister. But I can tell you something, like this morning. I went to Kailaon yesterday. Honestly, I can't tell this early morning. I was really tired. I almost want to call you, beg you, say if we can cancel. That's the kind of people I don't watch this program.
Exactly.
So I was really tired. I rushed now this morning for time aid. I'm just giving you like a personal anecdote. Creole was a bit tired. As I tied the aid, the one thing that crossed my mind was Fatima. Why? If me and Fatima forgo some side, I can beg her and go tie me aid for me because she's very good at tying her head. So at the time me aid this morning at the bathroom, I remember say, hey, bro, you don't remember.
You miss
say,
your sister.
Of course. It's like it crossed my mind, you know, like na Fatima, you don't sing, but she don't tie this aid for you because she will tie the hair for me. So this morning, I mean, I'm trying to tie my head, my mind run to her, and I just smile. That's the relationship I have with her. Somebody who would always be my younger sister. But I also have to understand that there are times you have to let someone go. If you really like somebody, you have to let the person go and give the person space. And that's what happened with me and her. For reach a stage where in party they so pressure them. That woman then put her under pressure. Yeah. Then put her under pressure for my sake. Me, of course, myself in party, then put myself under pressure. They could not understand that two women can be friends, can be sisters outside of politics. So she was put under tremendous. I was also put under pressure, but me, of course, me na tower too. I didn't have, you know, able to shake me. But she was put under tremendous pressure, and some of it became, you know, like really, really unpleasant for her. So I just sorry for her and say, let me allow her to, and that's it. That's what happened.
And you don't feel happy that he go publicly, you know, comment on that Yvonne Akisoya and post?
That was a political decision by Fatima. Me not make Fatima do am.
Why? Why you think so?
Well, you say Fatima want contest against somebody like me?
So
people want contest against somebody like me? No way. Then go want somebody like Yvonne. So it's a strategic decision she did. She didn't. A lot of people say, "Oh, we do it for spite me." No, I don't think so.
But you didn't feel happy?
I'm not vexed by them per se. I mean, I understood why she did it. It's a political decision. It's a political strategy. As politicians, you have strategies. By going to do what she did on Yvonne's wall, I mean, you
are not clearly not expecting that.
I wasn't surprised. It's a political strategy, so I wasn't surprised.
What do you think about your sister wanting to be officially not confirmed that yet? We did for make that clear for be flag bearer and lead the SLPP.
Interestingly, until the time I stopped engaging her as closely as I used to do, we had never discussed that. That, oh, she's, you know, so now I see this tremendous mobilization going on. I'm seeing unprecedented scenes of support for her. I don't know what the overall game plan is. I wish her well in whatever she's doing.
You think it could be a formidable, you know, candidate for the SLPP? You know her. You don't explain on her history.
I don't know how to answer that question.
Doc, answer how many how you want for answer?
No, I don't know how to answer it. Honestly, I really don't know how to answer that question.
You think say he go win election? He go win?
Again, I don't know how to answer that question. Believe me, I don't, because to answer certain questions, there are certain indices that you should have at hand that would make you know. So I don't know how to answer that question. Yeah. What I know is Fatima loves Sierra Leone. Fatima definitely loves Sierra Leone. That's one I can tell you for free. Yeah, she loves Sierra Leone. She gets frustrated when things do not go as they are supposed to go. She visibly gets frustrated at that. She loves this country.
And can be a good president?
I don't know how to answer that question, honestly. And I have to be cautious here. I'm not a politician, so I have to be cautious here. I don't want to use words that
You see, I'm as somebody who will win election for SLPP?
Again, as I said, I don't know how to answer that question.
If she becomes flag bearer, you go support her as your sister? Look, my sister, you go support her?
Oh, gosh. There is a clause in the APC constitution. It's a very strict clause. And it says, if you're a member of the APC and you support a candidate who is contesting against the APC, it is a grounds for your expulsion from the APC. So I think that answers that question.
Yeah, but she's not contesting for a position in the APC. I'm asking you.
No. Listen again. If you're a member of the APC and you support a candidate who is contesting against the APC. So, for example, let's say a councillor in my area is SLPP, and is contesting against an APC councillor that I don't like. I feel say that APC councillor, they not sober and not better. The SLPP councillor, I feel to say that the best person for the area. The party constitution says if I come out visibly to support the SLPP councillor against the APC councillor in my ward, I'm giving as low as that level, I can be expelled for the APC for that. So that's the answer.
So let we talk about your ambition. What you want on January 1st, you openly talk about what you the intend for do within the APC. You don't confirm now what you want run for, na flag bearer or na chairman.
See, I'm happy you asked this question because it just displays how people really don't understand political party administration when it comes to seeking the symbol of a party. The APC for now, as I sit here, the APC has not invited any application for any position in the party. The rules and regulations of the party published under the 2022 constitution, the rules and regulations says that the IEMC, that's the Independent Electoral Management Committee, should tell the Secretary General to put out a notice stating when applications are opened for every position in the party that somebody wants to contest for, including the flag bearer position. The IEMC then sets the standards. That is why you see a lot of argument now going on about certain flag bearer aspirants, whether they are qualified or not qualified. Take Yvonne Akisoya, for example. To the best of my knowledge, when you go to there's something in Britain they call the Companies Act. When you go to the Companies Act, the register, you see the company that Yvonne Akisoya almost, I would say, not bankrupted, but ran to the ground. And her name is listed there, and her citizenship is listed there. It's online, free, you can check it. Yvonne Akisoya, British citizen. So as at now, Yvonne Akisoya, until she says otherwise, she's a British citizen. So it means she's a non-starter for the position of APC leader, because only a Sierra Leonean who is not a British citizen can contest for presidency to be a flag bearer for APC party.
You can be a dual citizen. And
well, not in her own type of case. You cannot, I mean, the presidency is the highest seat. You cannot have dual loyalty. When decision come, we got to do with security, Britain or America, whether interest, I mean, America or Sierra Leone, Britain or Sierra Leone, whether interest with the Sikh. You don't want that. You want a presidency whose the only interest is Sierra Leone. So bottom line, as of now, for example, Yvonne Akisoya is a British citizen. The vetting committee of the party has to now bring to her notice that, oh, when we go online, we see this company where you register, you name whether you're a British citizen. Show we also you don't renounce your British citizenship. Come with your document where they show we say, if we make you flag bearer, then we go challenge we say, you're a British citizen. So until that is done, she cannot be called a flag bearer aspirant. Because they have not opened applications to examine the potential people who want to be flag bearers.
she announced an aspiration.
But that just shows you the dunce level of her politically.
But not only one, other people.
It shows you the dunce level. Because you can announce your intention.
Jagaban as well, you met with him. You advise him?
Jagaban is a wonderful person who was strong enough as a man to stand up in this country and tell his supporters, not in my name, don't go after any woman using gender-based insults. For that, I would always praise him as a wonderful politician who had the strength of character to stand up. I don't see no man yet in this political realm we don't do. Only Jagaban. Even when they say, oh, this is that, he is the only one who has issued a statement to defend the women of Sierra Leone, that if a woman comes into the political realm, do not use gender-based, sexually explicit insults against her in my name. That's wonderful.
You consider him as one of the flag bearer aspirants?
He's an asset to the APC. He has shown leadership in terms of protecting women in politics, and it is on that basis that I invited him for a chat. And I'm impressed with him. I mean, not all things I'm impressed about. Yeah, I asked him a lot of questions. He answered some of them satisfactorily. Some of them I wasn't convinced.
You know, pass your test.
Some of them, but most of the answers. In fact, when I asked him some questions, he said to me, he said, Dr. Blyden, he said, when I enter this politics, now you don't grill me past everybody. He said, some of the questions the way they ask me. He said, nobody never asked me that question, right? Because I asked him a lot of questions, you know. But I think for his strength of character to stand in the public space and defend women, he would always be someone that I would admire for that.
So what do you intend for run for na the APC?
Applications have not yet been opened. That's
But you get intention.
You see, now when you land, now when you interrupt me, let me land, please. Now for the allow me to land. Applications have not yet been opened under the rules and the regulations of the party.
The party
It is
that
only-
they are meet with. It was a few days ago. I see that picture.
Let the
they
party
meet
pull
with.
statement back. Let me see the party pull statement, because just last week I wrote to the chairman of the Independent Elections Management Committee. They point out to them. I wrote to the Secretary General. And they point out to them. Say, listen, the rules and regulations say by now, if I don't put out application, call for applications with a deadline. And this is the important point. The rules and regulations say the deadline by which application should be received should be published. So in other words, if I want to be a flag bearer in the APC, they have to publish a call and say by so and so deadline, you for not apply. If you not apply by this deadline, we not consider you with the cutoff. It has not yet been done by the party. They have not yet invited applications under the rules and regulations. So until they invite applications for these positions, all of us are just intending. So I'm looking at all of the positions and I'm waiting for them to do the call. It is after they do the call for applications, I look at the criteria. Then I will decide. Do I want to go for flag bearer? Do I want to go for deputy chairman? Or do I want to stay back and not go for any position? That was my simple statement. Anybody with a commander and tell you say in a flag bearer aspirant, na dons, a political dons. She is not an aspirant.
You want to be president of Salon?
Of course, I've said that since 32 years ago.
And could
It's my journey, 32 years of my
this
journey.
be the time for you?
If God says so, yes, why not?
What in you they think? What in are your aspiration? What in are your intention?
I just stated it. One of my intentions, I said, presidential candidate, or deputy chairman of the party, or I don't go for any position. It all depends on when they put out the call for applications. So a lot of people say to me, oh, well, you have not made up your mind yet.
Yeah.
How can I make up my mind when the application has not...
So you want to look for how you qualify or how you go get them easy?
You have to look at, exactly. You know, you have to be a smart politician. They not tell you yet what they want. Because they have to, for example, I just give you an example of somebody who's a British citizen. Is that kind of person they go and pass around, they say in a flag bearer aspirant, so in a British citizen, automatically you are disqualified. So I'm not a fool to go and start saying I'm going for presidential candidates. Well, I don't see the call for application yet for presidential candidates. I hope you are getting me. I hope listeners are getting me. The party has not yet put out a call for applications for vetting of our candidates. It is only after the vet, to themselves, they say these are the criteria the person for count with. If I can show we say in a citizen, if I can show we say if financially stable, if I can show we say in no criminal records, if I can show all of these things, they will have to come and show you. Then you look through it and you say, okay, yes, bingo, I can go for presidential candidates. Or bingo, I can go for deputy chairman. But for now, these are all intentions.
But the
party
public
has
expect you for one for any of them two positions, and they.
Yes, that's what I said. But I have to wait until the party puts out a call for applications. They have not put out a call for applications. So all I have to do now is to just engage people quietly until they put out a call for applications.
So you don't engage right now, or you don't campaign? When are political?
No, not campaigning.
No, but you don't engage.
Campaigning.
You don't engage delegates them, potential delegates. Or?
You see, politics is a strategy. A lot of people, I can look the number inside APC where they pass, get a big crowd, cook boku, eat, serve boku rum, say they're unpopular, and I just look at them and I laugh. That's not how you play politics. I have my strategies. I have my plans. The way I do politics is different from the way some people are doing it. I believe that when the party puts out the call for applications, I will look at it, go through the vetting, because they are sitting amongst themselves now and put what and what and what. Because if you look, the constitution of the party tells you the person has to fit within the laws of Sierra Leone. Waiting at the laws them, where Sierra Leone say for make somebody be president of Sierra Leone. That person therefore fits within the laws then they. So the party now therefore make sure say then puts out to we, the members, then say, una one come forward as flag bearer aspirant, as chairman, as deputy chairman, as secretary general, as whatever position. These are the criteria. Oh. Then you can look the criteria and you decide, so, oh yes, yeah, I can go now for presidential candidate. But they not put out nothing yet. Then they go and pass up and down, say, you know, flag bearer aspirant.
What do you think about the people that we don't come out, we don't show interest, you know, for be flag bearer within the APC?
In Boku.
What are your assessment of them? You think we're get the quality for as a party for put a candidate to go win the 2028 election?
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah.
Any one day where you want name?
Not really.
What you think say has been the strength of the APC? You know, there was a time where I see you post about how the APC itself, the leadership or so, don't make themselves relevant even in opposition. What do you don't think about the democratic process within the APC itself? You think, say, somebody like you go get a level playing field for contest for any position if you want? Me not possible. Very difficult for make you not give me level playing field if I want level playing field. Everybody go get?
No, hold on. If I want level playing field under the current constitution, it go difficult for you for block me. What I can say is simple. The party is now the most attractive political party in Sierra Leone. APC attractive past SLPP by far. You know they compare self. The APC right now is the most attractive political party in Sierra Leone. So definitely when a party is that attractive, you have a lot of people who would want to use the opportunity to come on board and just use the attractiveness of the party to advance themselves. The party has to be very careful that the attractiveness of the party doesn't get the party thrown by the wayside. Because a party is built on ideology. A party is built on institutional memory. If you make the mistake of allowing the institutional memory of the party to be lost in the process of changing the leadership, you might end up having a party that is not really a party. Because a party without ideology is not a party. A party without institutional memory is not a party. So for me, I would want us to make sure we have a presidential candidate who not only has the institutional memory, I have institutional memory that can go way back.
Yeah, campaigning
the APC's institutional memory. I have institutional memory that goes way back into the 70s, into the 60s. I can tell you a lot of things about the All People's Congress. I can preach to the young people about the All People's Congress. I can show you the legacies of Sheikh Stevens. I can show you the legacy of Joseph Saidu Momo, and I can show you to be proud of these people. I can get the young Sierra Leoneans to know that these people served and left legacies. Of course, Ernest Bai Koroma left a fantastic legacy. That is a fact. I can also be proud of that legacy. We have to be careful that whosoever becomes the flag bearer, in other words, holding the flag of the party, is somebody who would be proud of Sheikh Stevens, proud of Joseph Saidu Momo, proud of Ernest Bai Koroma as president. Not all this what he don't turn himself as opposition leader, but what he did as president. We have to be proud of his legacy as president, proud of Sheikh Stevens' legacy. Whosoever is the flag bearer has to be proud of those people. If the person cannot be proud of those people, if the person cannot be proud of the forefathers, the sacrifices of the forefathers, S.I. Koroma, Sie Kamaratelo, and all of these wonderful people who stood firm to bring to being the All People's Congress, if the person cannot be proud of that, of those our forefathers, such a person should not be given the leadership of the APC. So I know the vetting process and the messaging that we give to our people is going to hopefully ensure that it is somebody who would keep, because it's not
Could
just
that be that? Could that be you?
Of course. I have all the potentials to be a fantastic presidential candidate for the All People's Congress.
You and you can win election.
Without a doubt.
Which kind of president you go be if you? Which kind of president you?
I will win election first round. You know the sweat safe. If you say people then inside SIPP they fool, all of us as I talk so then begin they go, they support Yvonne. Oh Yvonne. All of us they begin Yvonne. They know my weight.
Apart from Yvonne, who do I think saying a strong contender?
No, I mean in terms of the woman. Woman. You see all of a sudden, as I talk so you see them begin one now they let me the countenance Yvonne, let me the watch herself. Because why they want to do that is like, Sylvia will enter inside.
Which kind of president you go be if you become president of Salon?
A president that the people of Sierra Leone can count on in times of their need. Then we count on and say, he could take a decision, winner for the betterment of the common good at all times. Because that is the critical thing about leadership. The president has to love his people at all times. You for so love the people that you for almost like a sleepless night where you see people and they suffer for any reason at all. It should always be the people first. And I don't prove that this country. Say, for me, it is always the common good first. My own selfish interest is secondary. So I believe I will be the president who the people, then they go sleep. They don't say, but once now Dr. Blyden are president, to go we pikin and they go school. We pikin they must eat. We wait for them, nobody know to go harass them. We daughters then go safe. They will go sleep, rest assured on that. That assurance they have it. And most importantly, they will know that Dr. Blyden not go ever thief their money. They will know that, say, the one who will show off money, Sylvia Blyden and corruption not to the same. Then they will cocksure say no will corrupt.
You sure of becoming president of this country?
If I wasn't sure, why would I be saying I have that aspiration? If I wasn't sure.
Is that happening soon?
At God's given time, it will happen. At God's given time.
I see you share the photo there. Let me just see them.
One.
One day way, you dress like a military person. Simon, can you put it up,
Commander-in-Chief.
Commander-in-Chief. This other one. Where the other one? Show the other one, please. Show the other one, and there is another, this one as well. And this other one, I see you, is that hijab, the other one? I see you get this one.
Oh yeah, this is
preparing for the presidency?
Now when are they run for camp this morning? Because that's why I just hang this so, because I really wanted to come in dressed like this. It's a message I'm sending out. It has come to my attention in recent times that some of our Sierra Leone sisters are facing discrimination because of their mode of dressing. And to me, it is like one of the ways I can show solidarity with them is I also put on a hijab. I also show that this doesn't mean that the person should be feared. So for me, it's a message I'm sending out. Ever since it came to my attention, I've learned a lot in the last few days about the discrimination that Muslim women face. Some of them want to go do some courses, academic courses, and they are stopped from doing it because of the hijab. So for me, it's like a messaging that I did yesterday, making sure I put on a hijab.
Okay.
So it was like a message.
The others are preparation
because religious tolerance is something that I was born. I born a family where Fulatong family, me Blyden.
I see you can go church now.
Then they read the surah. They read Al-Fatiha of the my grandfather, my grand aunt. They know the Muslim religion in the same way they know the Christian religion. So I grew up being religious tolerant. I grew up understanding that I have to respect other people's religion, even though I am a Christian. So for me, at all points in time, religious tolerance is very, very important. It's one of the most cherished gifts that Sierra Leoneans have. So what I'm doing with the hijab and what I'm doing with a lot of what I do is to promote religious tolerance. And I will do that if I become president of Sierra Leone.
The other one then, in preparation for the presidency.
I show people then say I can be commander-in-chief. No, it's an AI. It's an AI. It's an artificial intelligence photo that is generated. You say the computer generates for me in the 5-star general and it generates.
So you're a 5-star general?
I mean a field marshal.
So you talk earlier. You talk about former President Kumai influence in the APC. Will you accept his endorsement if he come out and endorse you? Say for flag bearer, you go.
If he loves the APC, honestly, if Anes Kumai loves the APC, he would endorse me as flag bearer.
You go accept him.
What do you mean accept? If somebody that endorses, somebody that endorses you.
No, but you said, say, I appreciate, I accept your endorsement, and will you?
Yes, of course. I mean, anybody will really, when you examine my journey in the APC, when you examine what I fell out with certain people in the APC for, when you critically examine it, when you see how much I've been demonized, that puppet in Holland, then launch and me. I mean, there's nothing that boy did not say about me. Nothing he did not say about me. But today, not to meet him up so strong one, not to meet him up so popular one, not to meet him up so one of the most loved people in the All People's Congress, not me. So, at the end of the day, now God, now they adorn. As I tell somebody the other day, God not already decided who will be the president in 2028. It's been ordained. We just waste time in the physical, but spiritually, whosoever they be president in 2028, it has been ordained already. So we waste our time in the physical, fighting for, struggling to emerge, but the person has been ordained already.
You party see and welcome back former Vice President Sam Sumana, and there's this issue with the former presidential candidate Dr. Samura Kamara still talking about electoral justice and all of that. You think say the party are able to resolve internal issues for contest as a united force the 2028 election?
One of the things I put in my, I was made a secretary to a committee that was set up when we lost the 2018 elections. I called it the 9-man committee for find out why we lost the elections. And one of the things that I said is that we have to strengthen the party ideology. What do I mean by strengthening the party ideology? We have to make sure our young people understand what the ideologies are across the board, so that when differences emerge, personality differences, because a lot of these differences are personality differences, very few of them are actual policy differences. But when differences emerge within the party's hierarchy, it would not affect the party's base. It would not affect the grassroots, because they would have their APC ideology, and they will not be following individuals, but they will be following an ideology of the APC. So that is one thing we have to work on, to strengthen the ideology, especially amongst our young people, because they are the majority, the bulk of the party membership. But having said that, I can tell you for now that the party's base is intact. I don't see anything yet we're able to shake the party in base right now.
No, did Samura Kamara aspect of it?
They cannot shake it.
You think, say, they should reconcile with him as a party?
No, but of course. Samura Kamara, in fact, what Samura Kamara is doing with electoral justice, Samura Kamara is very smart. He's keeping hope alive. He's keeping hope alive in the party. When you look at this, because initially, when you look at from a superficial point of view, they see what Samura Kamara they do. But when you look at it like myself as an experienced political analyst, and know see what Samura Kamara they do for the All People's Congress right now, it's a wonderful thing. He's keeping hope alive. Every single day, our people wake up with the hope. The hope. We know what he actually is saying to them might not be kosher. But in the process of doing it, he's doing tremendously well for the APC. He's keeping the APCs. So a lot of people are seeing it from a superficial point of view, like for say, the party scatter, then why so they so. No. We will sabi look politics. We will sabi watch political draft board. We know say what in Samura Kamara they do is very, very good for the APC. And when the time comes, all things will come out fine. The draft board, like when they play draft, when they set the seed they all, when you ready for do that bentail, pop. When the time they reach, they see what in Samura Kamara they set. When they do the bentail, politically, you would understand the game that he's playing. But for now, from a superficial level, you cannot see what he's doing. But when you look deep, you know that what in Samura Kamara they do. He's a brilliant strategist.
What if you feel offended and say, no, they've not supported me, the party be non-pull as leader, I go and form my own party?
It will not happen. It will not happen.
What do you think about Sam Sumana coming back to the APC?
It's a great thing. It's one of the recommendations I made in my 9-man report, that we have to bring him back. I said if he's willing to come back, we have to bring him back. And he was willing to come back. He's been brought back. It's a great thing.
What do you think about women leadership women flag bearer or a running mate na the ticket. I had Zainab Bangura, Isidon Musa, you've been there, so he talk about the party they need for sure within the structure force, so they're ready for accept women them. Either a chairman or vice chairman before they begin talk about making them flag bearer or running mates. You think that is going to happen in this coming election?
I'm not to understand the question.
So I'm asking, what do you think? You think, say, in this coming election, there is a time for get a woman flag bearer or a running mate? Now the two major political parties, or the APC, if you wish for talk, because party.
I don't think there would ever be a time that is not right for a woman to lead, because since the days of Queen Mansariko, to the days of Paramount Chief Madam Yoko, Queen Madam Yoko, we have shown that in this Mano River sub-region, we have women with the capacity to lead. And women have led. They've not only led as administrative leaders, they have led as warriors. The history is there. Women have led Sierra Leone. Women have led the Mano River Union. So women leadership is not a question. It would never be the question. The question would be, is there the competent woman now who we can entrust Sierra Leone to? That's the question. But can women lead? Of course women can lead.
So I'm asking, at this time now, there is you, there is Yvonne, there is Zainab Sharif.
Even a non-starter, but nobody call
now woman them. Then
not they call comedy, but no, if you want me to take you serious, no,
can it for us?
No, you can't call comedian name.
But she's a woman. You know, you don't expect other woman there aspiration.
No, call comedian name.
No, but you don't expect other woman there.
No, but you can't call a comedian. You say
Zainab Sharif is a Sierra Leonean. If she's qualified.
No, call comedian,
but I'm asking you. What thing they ask you now? With you, with Yvonne, there is Zainab Sharif. We don't push say the political parties then for put woman in 2028. You think say this time we will get woman flag bearer or running mates na the ticket of the political party?
I cannot think. What I can say is that there is never a time that is not right for a woman to be a leader in Sierra Leone.
You think the time is now?
It's
going to happen now? Let me rephrase the question. Okay. You think it is going to happen at the 2028 election?
The time was yesterday, the time is today, the time is tomorrow. The time would always be right for a woman to be. Let me land. The time would. I don't want us to restrict ourselves to a limited time frame. As far as I'm concerned, the women of Sierra Leone have produced women leaders in the past, from centuries back on to date. We have had powerful women who we believe led as not only administrative leaders but as warriors. Now, as it is right now, I consider myself as somebody who can lead Sierra Leone, who can be president of Sierra Leone, and effectively and courageously lead Sierra Leone as a woman. Whether the time is now, whether the time was yesterday, whether the time is tomorrow, there would always be the correct time for a woman to be president of Sierra Leone.
If it's not you and there is another woman, will you support that woman?
If she's competent, if you're not a thief, if you're not corrupt, if, for example, they say you finance officer, we for transfer and give you new finance officer. You begin holla all kind noise. No, my finance officer cannot go. My finance officer cannot go. My finance officer should stay. You get us suspicious because we begin say, hey, what if the finance officer died tomorrow, God forbid? What would you do? Why are you making so much noise? Say you finance officer not for go. That type of person is a corrupt person. You begin suspect, say, this something they up to.
You continuously accuse Yvonne of so many things.
No, I didn't call Yvonne's name. So if you don't know to Yvonne now,
Yvonne come out openly and complain about finance officer.
But I deliberately did not call her name here. I'm just.
Will you support Yvonne if you be flag bearer of APC?
Astaghfirullah.
Why not?
Not possible. Tifuma like Yvonne.
But you keep accusing her.
I don't know this evidence so many times.
You can vex where people let me.
If they lie for me, if you want to lie, they lie for them.
You're saying
I know they lie for Yvonne.
No, if you get evidence against Yvonne, say if why you know can't go ACC?
Why you can't go ACC? Then they have so much information. They use their discretion not to push. The best they did was ask her to pay back money that she took. That's the best the ACC could
No, but
do.
it's clear. It seems like you have personal issue with Yvonne.
No. There is the personal, definitely. But we're talking about policy. If you there as head of an institution, not so you position for change the administrative officers. The woman in position for change administrative officers say the finance officer will transfer them. You business have to say, okay, make sure say the new finance officer will come, is competent to. But you begin the hollers, say no, not for change the finance officer. The first thing that happen is suspicion. Because common sense will tell you that if the finance officer died tomorrow, God forbid, are you telling me everything will come to a standstill? No.
Is it if it's not you, it's no one else? It's no other. There's no other woman. We get the competence for lead.
No, I did not say that.
I'm asking.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm asking if.
But I didn't say that. You are saying
I'm not saying you said. I'm asking if it's not you.
Of course not. Of course not. I mean, I would never say
that.
It's not
I'm saying if she don't say she don't.
So
say you. No. But you need for clarify.
I'm not going to talk about.
But you said it here.
I'm not going to talk about. You know what? There are some things that are infra dignitatem. There are some things that are beneath my dignity to comment on.
No, but you're saying other woman not beneath dignity for you.
No, it is beneath my dignity.
But she's another woman. She's a woman.
No, you have to listen. It is beneath my dignity to respond in a back and forth manner.
No, you're not responding in the back and forth. I'm asking you to clarify. She said here, he said you're not competent for being president or leader at this
and country. I am repeating, it is beneath my dignity.
Do you agree with her?
It is beneath my dignity to reply to that question. I will never reply to that question.
Why?
Never.
Why?
Because I get dignity past that. It is beneath my dignity. I will never reply to that question.
Are you
never.
talking down on another woman?
I am telling you, I know my own dignity level. There are levels. It will be infra-dig for me to reply to that. I will not. Move to the next question, please.
So you're not responding to the claim she made?
I will never respond to it. Never.
Yeah, but you don't call me colleague then go na liberty.
You don't say colleague. You colleague them credible. You colleague them the international community recognizes them. They've given them huge grants. They are supposed to be credible journalists. They are registered by the Independent Media Commission. So these are not fake people. These are credible media institutions where for know they're left from the right. That kind of person, they compare to some kind of elements that is beneath my dignity. So them now,
Doc, you're talking low on another woman. You talking.
No, everybody forget status.
No,
let me ask you something.
No, but you can't describe another woman that way.
Oh, describe them.
Beneath your level.
Answer that kind of question, it's beneath my level.
You don't appreciate that she's another woman. We get
No, it has nothing to do with woman. Or there are men also who are beneath my dignity. I will never reply to them. There are certain things you have to say.
So why you take liberty go IMC?
Because they are at my dignity. They are IMC registered. They are IMC registered. They have received huge recognition internationally and locally. So they are credible. So when you are credible, it comes with responsibilities.
Why not go and react to the allegations or whatever statement is made about you?
Because it is beneath my dignity to do that. That's the point. There are certain things where...
So you suppress the media?
No. How can I? I'm part of the media. How can I suppress the media? I'm
taking them to IMC instead of...
Is that suppression?
No, instead of going to... The IMC have give you rights to reply. Why didn't you go and reply? The IMC Act...
Say,
the IMC Act, you get rights to reply.
No. If you respect the media house... and you feel safe and comfortable to go there, like I feel safe and comfortable to come here. That's why I'm here. If I wasn't safe, if I didn't feel comfortable to be here, I would never come here. So the IMC Act doesn't say by force you for good day. No. It's an option. If you want to, you can come. But if you don't feel comfortable, you think that they are aggressive or they're abrasive, you will not go there.
Those ladies cannot be aggressive to you.
I say if you feel that way, you have the option. We're speaking here from an academic point of view. From an academic point of view, you have the rights to reply, or you can say, no, I don't feel comfortable, I'm not going to reply. It's beneath my dignity to do that. My dignity is well above. You see, all human beings, you have to get what is called self-esteem. Self-esteem, self-respect. There are certain things that are beneath your dignity. Don't ever go down to that level. Like you, for example, you walk on the street, one Christmas come, Amadu Kalo can get debate. You say, go to map, say, okay, now when a human being, you want to debate with me, so let me and this Christmas, Lord, to map, Lord, debate. To map on the streets, I and the Christmas, the debate. It's beneath your dignity. You will never do it.
But they always challenge you. There is no proof that na Chris person.
No, I'm not saying crazy. I'm giving you an example.
No, but the
All
example
human
may be
beings-
different from what's happen. You know,
No,
because
no.
maybe I know somebody will get mental issues. They won't.
All human beings, you forget self-esteem, you forget self-dignity, you forget certain
Do you
dignity.
appreciate people who challenge you, who will challenge you?
You don't see that the whole
and
time they
question
challenge
you.
you. Don't see that the whole time they challenge me.
Yeah, people already disagree with you.
But you don't see that the whole from this morning they disagree with me. I appreciate
you
it.
appreciate when people disagree with you fairly and challenge things the way you stand for.
I think you've done that from this morning, Wakaya, and that you don't.
Yeah, no, I'm asking other women too, or other women.
To me, I don't quite get what you're asking. Do I appreciate people challenging me? It's different from asking me about other women.
No, I'm
And
asking if other women challenge you, disagree with you. You appreciate, say yes, the space should be there. There are women, or you think say no, it should be you.
I don't know what you're asking. I think I've
They
already.
make this thing difficult.
But now you make a difficult.
No,
Because
you
you don't
make it
answer
difficult.
questions. Then you
Nobody ask you why you be direct, but
you're making things difficult because you dey ask me the one question, I answer, you reverse, you come back, you ask the same question.
sometimes you don't give the right answer.
Well, go no more.
Finally, as we conclude this conversation, I want to ask you. I remember I asked you some time ago, while being the in our seat. I asked you for assess President Bill. You said it was coming to 2023 elections then. You want to wait after the election and see the outcome of them. Something like that, where you're not being given fair, like clear assessment. But you're then in final term now, let's say, in final term and some years remaining. What's in your assessment of in leadership and governance?
I don't recall the conversation that you are now speaking about. I wish I did, so that I could know the context within which I gave that type of response. I actually don't recall that response. But what I can say is that I would prefer to wait. He's not going to be a contestant in any election that I am going to be contesting against him, because this is his last term. He's not contesting in 2028. So I would prefer to wait until he finishes his tenure, and then we do a proper analysis of him at that time.
But you're very influential. People follow you and listen to you. What do you think about in fight against corruption, in discipline, lawlessness, and people the way they appoint the GWE Act? There's the Gender and Women's Empowerment Act, and all of that. What do you think? If or she, you know, as
it's quite, governance is quite an expansive sector. No way, not the way that kind expansive sector they are going to analyze them for you inside this studio today. If I look at the whole day, I'm not going to analyze the governance style of any sitting president within one day because it's too broad. It's too broad. There are positives. He's one of the people who don't come close to Shaka Stevens in terms of international recognition, because Shaka Stevens' international recognition, from taking us to the UN Security Council, being ECOWAS chairman, these types of international recognitions that Shaka Stevens had done for this country, Julius Maada Bio has come close to doing that type of recognition. So he has his positives, he has his negatives. He's found himself in unfortunate situations which I would not wish for any father to find themselves in, where you have a daughter who gets entangled into this drugs issue that is now floating. I feel sorry for him, really, to be honest, that he finds himself in this situation now where the whole world is talking about him being the father-in-law of a drug lord, and it negates his international image that he had tried to build to the level that he had built it. That's like on the international level. And there's a lot of things you can analyze around him that are both negative and positives, but we'll spend the whole day here.
In terms of national cohesion, you know, and bringing the nation together, you know, thing we don't talk about repeatedly, you think he's done enough to do that as the leader, the president?
If you look at his leadership of the SLPP, he has encouraged a lot of divisiveness between the SLPP and the APC. I told you, for example, here about the way the First Lady was harangued for my sake, for no other reason than the fact that I am APC. So she was, I believe he could have, as the leader of the SLPP, he could have called Samabania. He could have called the chief minister and their acolytes and said to them, listen, this woman is my wife. This lady is her sister. They have a sisterhood relationship that goes beyond politics. So Lord not allow this SLPP APC bitterness for affect my wife in relationship with his sister. He could have done that. I don't believe he did. And because he didn't, I think when historians will be looking back at this period, that will be one of the things that they will see on him as a lapse. That he could have said, the relationship between Sylvia and Fatima is a good one where this country can point at for, say, cross-party friendship can happen, because these two women are Fatima will die for an SLPP. Fatima is SLPP, 100% SLPP for Fatima. She's 100% in love with her SLPP. It's the same way with me. I don't compromise when it comes to APC. She knows that. Everybody knows that. But we were able to have a good friendship until Samabania, Chief Minister, and all of these people started attacking our friendship. I believe that Julius Maada Bio, as leader of the SLPP, could have stepped in. He could have stepped in. He could have called Samabania. Say, but the way they attack me with because of his friendship with this APC lady, I don't think say correct too. He could have called the other SLPP people attacking his wife for my sake. Because the only reason when they attack, they say me na APC, that's the only reason they were attacking. So I think that is one of the negatives that is going to show that he wasn't a unifier. Because he's the leader of the party. He could have led the SLPP in a direction where Fatima would not be so intimidated that she cannot wish me happy birthday. You get my point?
Yeah.
So to my mind, he missed the boat. He missed out on an opportunity to show that he's... I'm not blaming him for what the SLPP, Samabani and others were doing, but I'm blaming him for not showing leadership, stepping up to the plate and saying to them, no, as SLPP, we're supposed to be the party we will get. Because I think their slogan is unity, something like that.
One people, one country.
No, they have something as a motto that's under there. It says unity. That's why the newspaper is called Unity now. Unity okay. Newspaper. So he could have said to them, but this is an opportunity for us to show that SLPP are the real unity. But they missed that.
At a national scale, you're thinking appointments, of people from across the divide, young people in governance, you think he's done well with that, women as well?
I would have to look at the statistics to be able to know whether he has... the statistics is what I would look at to be able to really look, to do a comparison about... Because it's not just appointing young people, it's appointing young people who would be able to influence in such a manner that the young people feel a part and parcel. Not just the young celebrities. Because that's the mistake a lot of people do. When you are appointed as a young person into governance, you go for the celebrities who are young and you associate yourself with the celebrities who are young. But when you look at, for example, the Kush crisis in the country now, it affects mostly young people. Mostly young people. The ones who are dying on the streets, these are all young people. So when you appoint young people into office, it has to reflect in the policies. In terms of, are the young people protected from drugs? Are the young, so to my mind, it's not just appointing a young person who will come and tell you that, oh, I'm with Idris Elba, I'm with Kai Kamara, I'm with this, there's young, you need to, the young people should be able to show you, like Sylvia Blyden was able to show the people of this country in 2001, 2002, that young people put the guns down, take up the ballots, and I influenced this country for young people to know that you can enter politics. So there should be something that you can show.
You equate President Bio to former President Kuma as one of the good leaders they would on get?
At the end of his tenure, would evaluate him.
You mentioned Ernest Kuma, one of the best leaders, even when he didn't have power then.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
So President
Ernest by Kuma, because...
or because you work with him directly?
No. Ernest by Kuma had his negatives, he had his downsides. I mean, the mismanagement of the Ebola, for example, is one of his downsides. But overall, Now, on hindsight, you look at it and you can definitely say Ernest Bai Koroma was a good leader. If I was a great leader, he was a great president when he was president of Sierra Leone. He messed himself up after he was no longer president. But during his tenure, you can look at it. So let's wait for Julius Maada Bio, and on hindsight, would do the evaluation for him.
What are you hope for Salone? What's your hope? Say, what are the hope you get for this country as somebody will get intention for be president of this country?
Well, obviously, the first hope would be that my fellow citizens would see the potential in me for make me be the president. That would be the first hope, because the minute they make me their president, they know, say, this is somebody who would provide solutions. I mean, actual solutions, because I have it. I have seen one of the major issues in Sierra Leone today is the way the budget is spread and the way the revenue is generated. I have seen how easy it is to actually rethink our financial budget allocations. I have seen what caused the problem, which I won't, because it's very long to explain here. But I have seen what caused the problem, what has caused the WAP in the way funds are allocated. I have seen where the problem is. And I know I can restructure the reallocation of funding across Sierra Leone so that, one, the social issues, like, for example, education and health, which are key. Because one thing about President Julius Maada Bio is he has a vision. You can see it. There's a vision there for education. There's a vision, he knows, he can see it for human capital development. You can see that this man, when he speaks, if you listen, he's not a good speaker. He doesn't speak very well. He's not an eloquent orator. But even with that lapse in his speech, you can see and you can hear that he means well. It's just that he cannot implement his vision into reality. I can implement my own vision because I know what the issues are that Julius Maada Bio cannot see, that I have seen. And if I am made president, I'll be able to restructure the budgetary allocations so that we can readjust and get our people back to get the proper social services that they are supposed to get.
How your cabinet go look like?
Well, I don't know what type of question that is, because maybe you want to hone down to some specifics.
If you be president, how you cabinet go? It's straightforward. How?
No, it's not as straightforward as you think. What do you mean?
Which kind of people are you going to get in your cabinet?
One thing I would love to have in a cabinet is a few people, not all of them, but a few people were brave enough to challenge me. We're not afraid me. I would want those type of people in my cabinet. We're not afraid. We don't mind for look me and say, Madam President, this thing where you put on, so this does not make sense, so it not make sense. I would want those type of people. Because the minute, the way you start to fail is when everybody around you is so loyal to you. They love you so much. They don't want to hurt your feelings. That happens. I mean, I've worked at State House. I've worked at the presidency. I've seen it. And not just in Sierra Leone. I've seen the presidency at work in other countries at the highest level. So I have seen what happens. They can elect the president so much and not hurt his feelings. So they don't mind for can't lie to him because they don't want to hurt the person's feelings. Not to say, nah, devious me them for just no. They don't want to hurt the person's feelings, so they lie. I would want a cabinet where I get a few of them. We're not afraid me. Where they elect me, but the elect no. Then they put the country above that likeness so they can get for me. So I'd want a few of such people. Of course, I would want loyalists in the cabinet who are loyal to me. Like Donald Trump now is successful because he makes sure this time he get cabinet.
I see you very much believe in Donald Trump.
If only we had presidents who elect their country, then citizens, like how Donald Trump elect America and Americans, Africa, 50% of the problem will be solved. Donald Trump loves America. Donald Trump loves the American citizens. Donald Trump wants to protect his people. He wants to see his people thrive. He wants to make America great again. I want to make Sierra Leone great again. If only we can have that mindset, the Donald Trump mindset, where it is America first, America first, Americans first, Americans first. Protect America, keep my people safe, close the borders, make sure bad people do not come in, criminals do not come in. Make sure we raise funds, we get enough money for our people. make sure we adjust our budget, unnecessary things, Department of Government Efficiency, we cut off all these unnecessary things and we get, I mean, his ideas, he loves his country. And that's why
you will be the Donald Trump type president of Salon.
Not really, because he can be, sometimes he's obnoxious, sometimes he overdoes things. I will not go along those lines. But in terms of loving Sierra Leoneans like Donald Trump loves America, yes, I will.
Pandi, aspirant them, the people them win aspirant. You see anybody you go make running mate?
I haven't thought along those lines. I haven't thought about along those lines. But within the APC itself, including amongst flag bearers and all, I see quite a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential within the APC party itself. There's a lot of potential, yes. And I would need a running mate. You know, I know this is going to sound a bit interesting, but okay, let me not say what I want to say.
No, please say. Please say. The people want to hear. No, the people want to hear. No. Part of the transparency.
It will be misinterpreted, so I don't want to say what
explain in a way it not go be misinterpreted. Talk on a clear one. How possible not go misinterpret?
Well, I don't want to say what I want to say. I wanted to say something about the current vice president, but I just don't.
You go appoint somebody like him.
He's good. Let me put it this way. I don't want to go further.
Is that an endorsement?
Well, you see, that's why I don't want.
So what's in the quality where you get where you look for another flag bearer or running mate?
I don't want to go further. Because I don't want to be misinterpreted. I wanted to say something about him, I want to say something about him, but it could be misinterpreted.
So what's in the quality where you get? You say good. What's you look for in other person where you go and make you?
I don't want to go further. Trust me. I don't want, because this line, this line might go down to some other elements that you might want to, because I mean that's like the positives. You might then want to say, well, give me the negatives of the current vice president, and I would not want to go down there. So it is better I don't say it. I wanted to say something, and I realized that if I say it, it might lead to another stage.
Which kind of person you go want for make it be your running mate?
Loyalty, of course, would be very key, and somebody who respects me, shares my vision for Sierra Leone, would be willing to be at my back for me, and be willing to take a bullet for me in the execution of our mission for Sierra Leone. That's it. I think loyalty and shares the vision. I know the person is there. If I turn bien, I know say me vice president today. If I travel, I know say me vice president today. He's not competing. He or she would not be there to undermine me, to sabotage me, to. I'm not saying that about the current vice president.
No, I ask you the quality than they were the vice president.
No, not at all. I don't want to be quoted on that. I don't want people to open a whole debate on that. But what I would want is someone who is there, shares my vision. And again, I would want somebody who is a bit academic. That is the person who can research. I myself am a researcher, but I would love to have a vice president who is academic, who can research, who is an intellectual, who I can entrust, go do this for me, go do this research for me, lead a team of researchers for me on this issue and come back and guide me about how the nation should move. So I would love a vice president who is an academic.
Are all those values in the current vice president?
I don't want you to trap me into saying, because if you go along that line, then you would want to ask me about the negatives of the current vice president. So I prefer not to talk about the current vice president, because if you want me to say his positives, you want me to say his negatives.
I will ask you,
and I don't want
you can say them.
I prefer not to answer, please.
The people and way, I'm sure there are people we don't see, we want to lead the SLPP. You think so you get any strong contender from the SLPP for contest against you in 2028?
If I become the APC flag bearer,
yeah.
I will ask for beats. That's how they say for free. I'll be very difficult. I don't even see how they're going to beat me. I don't see how SLPP go.
What do you think about the chief minister? What do you think about the chief minister?
No comments.
Who do I think say na the person we na strong contender na SLPP? If you be flag bearer, we go contest against you. Now 2028.
SFP has a lot of strong people. You have a lot of strong people who are long time in the game of politics. You know, you have a lot of strong contenders who are experienced. Then Boku, who are experienced, who will give us a run for our money. But to God, they no beat we. Not possible. And SFP not able to beat APC with Sylvia Blyden as flag bearer. SFP not stand a chance.
If it's not you.
But there are other strong contenders. There are other strong people in the APC. And the APC right now, as I said, our base is strong. The base is strong. The grassroots support is there. They just need to have an administrative structure where no go lost with RRF forms them. An administrative structure where no go sell game. An administrative structure who would ensure the people not go to happen a line for votes only for make them votes disappear. An administrative structure where go understand how for play politics within the rule of the law. For example, what are the powers of the president? And if the president gets certain powers, when the president will exercise the powers, how do we as the opposition checkmate him without disadvantaging our people? For example, the census of 2021, it was 2021 or 2020, the census, the midterm census.
Yeah, it was.
We disadvantaged our people because we were not smart enough to know that the president has presidential powers and the president was exercising his presidential powers. We were not smart enough to know how to checkmate, which is tell our people until they want count. They want count, una common and count then go count and gains. That's the strategy which they have used. They want to count, and then count. So how do you checkmate a president who is exercising his presidential authority without disadvantaging your people? That's what APC needs. APC needs people who can think on their feet, smart people, savvy. Because not of us just get the base intact, which we have. Our base is intact. Across Sierra Leone, the APC base is intact. But the leadership, the administrative vehicle that can think on its feet is what we lacked. That caused us to lose the elections in the way we lost them.
Finally, Doc, what's your projection of 2028? How you can predict elections? You don't say APC they win, right? Is the APC going to win the 2028 election?
The APC should have won the 2023 elections, but we lost it because of cell game, because of manipulations. I don't know, but it is very obvious that if you have a political party, I just tell you, say the night before Christina Top announced results in 2012, I was with Anes Baikoma at the lodge, and we knew from the information from our RRF forms that we had won the elections. Because that the technical information, the technical backup was there, we knew we had won the elections. We were just waiting to know the figure. But we don't pass the 55% mark. As we don't reach that 55% mark, you know, say, this election we don't win. If, with all our chances to have won 2023 elections, they will not be able to know the results. For one district safe, it shows you that my prediction, which was based on technical competency of the APC, because my prediction was based on an assumption that the party would be technically competent enough to have all these structures in place. So, can I predict now for 2028? No.
Why?
Because I don't know the party in technical structure what we will get for 2028, which is one of the reasons why I'm saying the options I'm looking at is either the leader of the party, that is the presidential candidate, or the deputy chairman of the party. I don't want to go for chairman because there are certain people going for chairman who I think will be more competent as chairman.
So
of
now
the
with
party.
you, no more APC go be sure of winning 2028, either as
No, not
deputy
so-
chairman
no,
or
not
flag
so
bearer.
I
No, I'm
say.
asking, I'm not saying that's what you say.
No, I'm not saying that. No,
I'm not saying that's what you
So
say.
I don't answer. You say no, not so. Not so. Not so. I say. So I mean, you interrupted to ask that, and I'm saying no. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I am saying I cannot predict because in 2023, when I predicted, I was very sure that we would win the elections. When I predicted for the 2023 election, I think the prediction was in 2021. When I made the predictions, because looking at all the indices back then, we were going to win the elections. But now we realize that there was no technical support in place. There was no strategic thinker We when are the good player them, where we not fit for vest, we go sit on a bench. Because we sit on a bench, the one that we not a good player, they go to the field. Then beat we good dirty beat. Na the field. Because the good player them, we not the fit for vest. I mean, I know the fit for vest. I know my potential. I know what I can offer to the APC. A lot of people know what I can offer to the APC. And if the APC wants to use what I can offer, I'm here. Send me, as my brother by Mahmoud Bangura would say. I'm here. But if
but you can contest for the flag bearer.
Of course, I said that. Yes, yes. But definitely, I don't see anything that would inhibit me from contesting for flag bearer and eventually president of Sierra Leone. I don't see anything.
And if you lose, you accept whatever the outcome.
I will not lose.
Okay. You're very sure of winning.
Yeah.
So you clearly believe, say you are the flag bearer of the APC.
No, I didn't say that.
Why say you not
I'm not
lose?
that arrogant. No, I say I'm not going to lose the 2028 presidential election.
Okay, if you be flag bearer.
So God, I'm not possible. I'm not going to lose.
But you go contest the election. You go for contest for be flag bearer first.
I'm waiting for the call for applications. It is based on the call for applications. You know, these people need to understand this. The APC for now will not get flag bearer aspirant because the APC not open up the game yet. The APC not do. The rules and regulations are clear. The constitution is clear. It is only when the APC puts out the notice calling for applications with a deadline, because the notice has to have a deadline. For example, then go put out notice now, for example, then say, all the one for contest for president, make your application before February 15, 2026. That's what the law says. That's what our rules and regulations says. You have to give them a date, a deadline. If till February 26, you not apply, you're out. All the one they will apply, will fit the fixed criteria, they can proceed. Until that is done, there is no flag bearer aspirant.
So if you meet the criteria and you decide,
I will meet the criteria.
And you decide for be flag bearer, you sure say you decide for contest. You sure say you go win within the party and go be the party in flag bearer.
No, that would be arrogant of me to say I sure say I go win, because there are quite a lot of competent people them, just like myself, who would
including
be contesting. Me not the country Yvonne, not the country Yvonne.
Okay.
Don't the country for that social media, not the country Yvonne. Me, I know the countenance as if when I'm talking about real flag bearer people, the ones I will be up against, I know the country Yvonne safe.
Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. We don't get a very long conversation. Like I've been telling people, we get conversation where, go stand the test of time as always. It can be a reference point whenever there is conversation about. You go say, Doc always gets, you go say, when I go back to my interview, whether na AY, VSLBC or Truth Media or 98.1, it could be a reference point for with conversation and everything. But Doc, during the time we'll pay attention to the fight against drugs now, one person way as well been pay attention to that fight there. You bring out a lot of information about the budgets where the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency they receive, they are not funded, and how families and they suffer, and call on government for support them, and government listen and provide the required support. So they can ring the bell and give a message to young people and government as we still continue for this fight against drugs in this country. Like you say, it affects a lot of young people. We see them every day. We still affect the fights, but the drugs they out there, and people and the way they produce them, where they share them, and young people addicted to them. So I give you the bell. It is a pleasure handing over to you this bell for Hingham today. Maybe sometime the next time we can and as presidential candidate.
How does it work?
No, just like I did. Yeah. Thank you. You can get the message now. I want to give a message to young people, young Sierra Leoneans, a message of hope,
I think what I go say is that not so much a message of hope, but a message of responsibility. Because we get more young people. I can put it on?
Yes, you can give me. You can give me the hand over to me. Yeah, thank you.
What I want to give a message of responsibility. We have far more young people who know they take drugs than the one the way they take drugs. We get more people them we're aware of who that and they sell drugs than the one the way they sell drugs. So me on call go be a call to the one that way, one, not they take drugs, two, aware of who that and they sell drugs, but no one forget themselves involved because then they afraid of something. When I see something, for as much as we they continue for lose so many young people them to this drugs crisis, will they affect with future? Because when we not get enough manpower, no society will lack enough manpower, they able for advance. This is just common sense. If we not get enough people then we're trained, competent, graduates or technical vocational competency, we not get enough of them for help for administer this country in next generation with the affect we serve. If we continue to allow people them way then so addicted to drugs that they need for the thief and need for commit crimes so that they can raise money for settle their addiction, then we also not fair to we serve. So my own call today will be a call for responsibility. Every single one of we when not they take drugs, we boku pass the one where they take drugs by far. So don't like for say the one where they take drugs and boku pass we know. Especially una the young one them. Una boku pass the one the way they take drugs. Take leadership. Take responsibility. Not fit to say you too small or that you grouping inside you day, you neighborhood inside you day, you too insignificant. No. Create a group, a pressure group na your society. Create a pressure group na your community where you work free of charge that for raise awareness and for report the one the way they sell drugs and for also raise awareness amongst the one the way they take drugs. Not wait for money. I get so many young people that across this country where then so they inspire me, where then they go out on their own for go do activity in the community about this issue of drugs. But we need more of una on board. If we get more young people then come on board, the peer pressure now we change them from instead of people then they feel safe for take drugs because this whole drugs problem is start as a fashion.
Yeah.
We get people that were powerful women actually talk at one time say kush not a bad thing. Because I know me feel say kush not a bad thing. There's a very influential voice now with society. We go out and stage it map and say kush not a bad thing. Because you know me feel say kush not a bad thing. Because then they take the kush and they put it at this thing then called shisha. Then they give them young graduates, young students, then young man them, then they enjoy this thing, not knowing how dangerous and devastating the addiction they be. So me they call on her now. Instead of we make her now at something where na a relaxation issue like academy they do before for experiment with these drugs, now make her now a peer pressure under the young people them. When I come together, form groups, form associations there. When una only work now for make sure say the one them will not begin take drugs yet. They're not join for take the drugs. I hope I make myself clear. Become responsible citizens. We when they take drugs, we boku pass the one way they take drugs. So we roll now, when I come together, create associations, create community neighborhood watch, where una work, now for make sure say the peer pressure now una change her, so that now it becomes fashionable not for take drugs. What made the drug crisis come now because it became fashionable for take shisha and kush. For take molly and tramadol. It became fashionable. So now turn the table. Let it now become fashionable, not for take anything in there. So that will be my message to you, the young people.
Thank you so much, Dr. Blyden. I agree we need for take responsibility in whatever way, wherever we are. If you see you paddy the duam, you brother, you fumble, raise an alarm, help him, lay, get out of him, because it destroy him. We will need to take him with plenty and we will effect change. As a potential president and commander-in-chief, what's in a message to
as potential president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces, I go on for tell Sierra Leoneans and say, if I become the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency Dr. Sylvia Blyden, Grand Commander of the Republic of Sierra Leone, plus all the other titles that will come with the presidency, I go assure her, say, God don't plan my life trajectory. It has been planned by God. I've been ordained, I've been anointed. Every step of my life, now God don't guide me for this ultimate ambition of becoming president of Sierra Leone. So I've assured her, say, that same God will don't bring me this far. He will make sure, say, I succeed when I become the president of Sierra Leone if una believe, say, I'm worthy of una votes. And I rest assured say the same God will don't bring me this far. He not will left me halfway on the journey. Yeah, God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sylvia Olainka Blyden, OOR, should I say, intending flag bearer of the APC, and hopefully, don't know when APC they get the flag bearer election, but hopefully we declare formally of which anyone for contest for. We will get a conversation on that and which kind leadership people then for expect from as somebody who want to be president or deputy chairman of the APC. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Upon being promised people and say, we're not going to Pamplaba. It's going to be a good conversation.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah, you can.
I really want to repeat this points to people then for understand. Say the All People's Congress, as of now, they not put out a call for applications yet. We Constitution and the rules and regulations state and very clearly say, therefore put out a call for applications and put out a deadline date within which application should be received. That has not yet been done. Even for the ward elections, that has not yet been done. And I don't bring account to the attention of the party that they have to, that if they do not do it, all of us are intending flag bearer aspirants. We are not flag bearer aspirants. We are not chairperson aspirants. We are not even ward chairman aspirants until they put out that notice. So dear, una me APC family then, una self help me for put pressure. Then the National Secretary General and the Independent Elections Management Committee put out the call to application so that we can able to look. When I look them, then I will decide now whose position are they go for, or if I know they go for position.
Honorable, Almami Kamara, the former MP na Bombali, I see a post where asked me a post. He challenged say the current executive no get the mandate as the tenure they done in February. He said them for dissolve and for set up a committee for conduct the lower level election and the flag bearer election.
I not see that post there.
Okay.
But what you know, the PPRC Act empowers any political party for extending tenure for up to 6 months, but not more than once. So the APC, the current executive was elected 3 years ago next month, in February next month. They will make them 3 years with tenure for done. But the PPRC Act give them the authority for extend the mandate for 6 months, which would be, let me see now, March, April, May, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah. So they will have the authority to extend their tenure until August.
Okay.
So I don't see what Alimami right.
I can just read them. He said, former APC member of parliament in Bombali district, Honorable Almami Kamara, said the current APC executive does not have the mandate to conduct the upcoming lower level elections. The former Minister of Youth Affairs said the executive's mandate ends in February. The former ambassador to Iran called for the executive to be dissolved and an interim body to be set up to organize the lower level elections and by extension the National Delegates Conference where a standard bearer will be elected. Well, ask me on a reporter, he said the executive has maintained that it still has the mandate and authority to go ahead with the lower level elections.
Okay. Based on what you read, so I think my brother Honorable Alimami is a bit misguided. The executive has the power under the PPRC Act for extending tenure by 6 months. I know see it. I go engage in the Alimami. Walk over at the studio. Normally we talk. You don't tell really. Don't few weeks me not talk. You not ever tell me. I hope it's that information is accurate.
Ask me post on Facebook.
I will engage him, but I think he's misguided. The party has the authority to extend using the instruments of the Constitution, because the Constitution has instruments that they would activate.
Okay.
Using those instruments, the APC Constitution allows that to be done, and the PPRC now limits the number of times they can do it. So they can do it for 6 months once only.
Okay.
So they have the power to. So I don't agree with them.
Okay.
The party executive has the authority for extend their tenure by 6 months from the date of which they were then tenure for done.
Well,
I'm going to engage them on that. I'll find out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We look forward for, get you some other time, hopefully in the program, and talk about whatever position you're going for. Dr. Sylvia Blyden, I want to say, this is the longest interview I think we don't get to.
Serious?
Yeah, since where we start.
But what you say, I'm anointed, I'm anointed, I'm ordained. And if you watch, the number of people who will tune in.
Yeah, no, we get over 1,000 people.
No,
well, we don't get her with Caldinero the other time, but not only one been at the studio. We get her with other artists. We don't get her with Caldinero, and I think with Team Kaba the other time as well, we get close to 1K. But we get we go do the analysis. We get 2.5 thousand people we comment. We get
what?
Yes, 2.
Well, let me tell you, as I said to you, I don't do that. I don't launch people to go and comment negatively because I can want organic commentary. You have people who believe in Vala 2,500. You get people that win the agents and they send them to go cause someone at the trade. So you will see them and they cause, for mislead people like are not popular. That's what they do on social media. So it's not organic. It is sent by people. So I will go and look at it. 2,500. Something. A lot of them might be the organic ones. You would see they would appreciate organically, but you also see.
But you appreciate the one that we go criticize you genuinely back just because they not believe in you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, not everybody can believe in me. The sensible people will believe in me. The intelligent people will believe in me.
So the one who not believe in you, they're not sensible or intelligent.
Yeah, you will draw your conclusions.
But thank you so much. Now we end the program today. Many thanks to Doc for being with us, and thanks to una we don't follow we na the program, una we share, una we view, una we comment. We appreciate that so much. This is what we try to do: have a conversation.